Welcome to the Ring Generals podcast. My name is Nick Nenad. Alongside me is Eric and the RKJ Man.
What's happening?
Our triple threat topics. We screwed up the first part of the show, man. It's going to be a good show. We know if we screw up in the first couple seconds, it's going to be a good show. But our triple threat topics of the day, Fastlane review, and overall WrestleMania storylines. We're on the road, the final road to WrestleMania, so we're going to talk a lot about that. Our second topic of the day is going to be John Cena calling out The Undertaker. We assume this match is going to happen, but what do we think this match is going to deal with? Which character do we think is going to show up as far as The Undertaker goes? That and a lot more. Our third topic of the day as well is going to be CM Punk. He's returning to MMA. He's going to be fighting at UFC 225, and we'll also dive into Canelo's failed drug test that might put that May 5th fight with Triple G in limbo. But guys, let's start with Fastlane. There was a big pay-per-view last Sunday. Your guys' thoughts on the pay-per-view?
The last pay-per-view before WrestleMania. Oh, I got to say, they got some pretty, some solid matches. I think that just did capture my eye was, of course, the main event, because I felt like, things were going to happen. Some of the things that were going to happen for the main event for WrestleMania was going to change. I felt like Cena was going to win, but luckily AJ Styles won the match, so now we get to see Nakamura versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and I'm happy about that. And which is going to lead for Cena to challenge, of course, The Undertaker, or as we saw on Raw. But we're gonna be talking about that a little bit later. But I'll say this, Fastlane. I thought it was a pretty good pay-per-view. It was okay, not too bad. Not as bad.
Was it pretty good or was it okay?
It was okay.
It was alright.
It was all right. Yeah.
It was alright.
I can deal with that. With that.
I think maybe it's because we haven't been paying attention to the SmackDown product
That's
as
probably
much
true. Yeah.
as Raw, because we've had this talk before about how Raw is a superior brand and SmackDown is, I guess, the second rated show, I guess. But Fastlane, I thought it was okay.
I mean, when your own commissioner shows up at Raw and is sitting next to his daddy, SmackDown is not the superior brand. We're going to talk about that in a second. I mean, I thought Fastlane was all right. I mean, there were some good matches on the card, obviously, and then seeing the Bludgeon Brothers just absolutely destroy
Oh, my God.
Xavier Woods, that looked pretty legit.
We've had some good beatdowns WWE lately.
Yeah. I like to call them the Road to WrestleMania beatdowns. Those are always the best beatdowns. That's when the beatdowns get legit.
You gotta really make the crowd hate that guy for beating the hell out of that, that superstar.
Do you think Xavier is going to make it to WrestleMania?
Yeah, he's going to make it to WrestleMania.
I mean, if you can't take one power bomb, then
on the steps.
Yeah, exactly.
He's going to be shooting pancakes out of his ass or something. Fastlane was good. I mean, for the most part, I didn't really have too many complaints. Obviously, I loved when Asuka came out and challenged Charlotte, and I knew it was going to happen.
It was still surprising to me, though, for some reason. When her music hit, it was like, oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah, Ruby Wyatt, though, put on a really good match, though. And I like how she came out there by herself originally. Now, I didn't like it when the heels, her group, the Riot Squad, got involved, and then you had Becky Lynch and Naomi get involved, but I really enjoyed having them on the I really enjoyed having Ruby Riott come out by herself and being a dominant heel, kind of not a dominant heel, but being kind of that heel who wasn't as afraid to back down from Charlotte. I think it was a solid match, and the main event had so many storylines into it. I mean, as always, with a multi-man match of that magnitude, this close to WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, it's going to be intense. It's going to be a lot of things going on, and I got nervous too. They did a good job. They made me scared. I thought AJ Styles wasn't going to have that title, going into WrestleMania against Nakamura, but they did a really good job. This Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon, Sami Zayn storyline is coming to a halt at WrestleMania, and I'm looking forward to it. It's funny because and I was thinking this the other day, and people, this is why sometimes I hate doing this on Thursdays, because people get to it before we say it. But somebody mentioned this: the SmackDown main events going into WrestleMania are looking pretty dang good.
Yeah. No,
they're
solid.
They're solid.
After what was pretty much been terrible build for the last month or two.
How about just a terrible show?
Well,
since the superstar shakeup.
No, honestly, I'm excited about every single SmackDown match they've announced for WrestleMania so far.
Well, it's also
Well, they haven't announced the tag team one, but I think we all assume what that's eventually going to be.
Well, they gotta build it like solid because they know that WrestleMania is right around the corner. So they gotta SmackDown. They gotta step up their game. That's why they gotta put on a solid card for themselves in order to match up with Raw. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, 4 weeks for a build for WrestleMania doesn't seem. It seems like there should be a little bit more time, and that's why I hate having a March pay-per-view, Fastlane. I don't get why we have these pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, just do a special on SmackDown, maybe where you add 30 minutes or an hour to a show to make it seem more important.
Like pay-per-view quality?
Yeah,
for
like
SmackDown?
pay-per-view quality, or maybe put it on a network special. But I mean, to have a whole pay-per-view dedicated to, in the month of March, just 4 weeks out, to me, that just doesn't give enough time for your storylines to get ready and breathe.
Yeah.
Also, Randy Orton. What do y'all think about this whole Randy Orton, Bobby Roode, Jinder Mahal situation? I mean, I'm torn because Bobby Roode was so great in NXT, and his character has just floundered in the WWE on the main roster. And Jinder Mahal, I never liked Jinder Mahal, but I mean he signified the death of SmackDown. I mean, a few weeks ago we were talking about, I said how Alexa Bliss was is becoming like JBL. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Jinder Mahal was the JBL during that whole WWE Championship reign, because SmackDown was awful during that time. So I'm not a fan of Jinder Mahal. What do you guys think? What do y'all think?
Well, looking at that storyline between Orton, Roode, and Mahal, I have mixed feelings about it. It's great that Orton's the champion, the U.S. champion, the belt that he's never won. But I gotta say, if this is gonna be the triple threat match at WrestleMania, I don't know. I just have mixed feelings about it, and I feel like Roode and Mahal deserves better, because even though people can say all they want about Mahal, he has carried SmackDown, by last year. He carried that belt
Into the abyss, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, him as champion, I thought that there was like going to be more eyes on him. I thought that it was interesting to see him as champion. I'm not a Mahal fan, but I gotta give credit where credit is due. He played the heel role pretty well. And Bobby Roode, when he was on NXT, I gotta agree with you. He was awesome. Like, he was like basically like a big fish in a small pond. But now that you're in the ocean, so for a guy like Bobby Roode in SmackDown, I feel like his flavor is kind of dying down, sort of. And I don't really see people getting into that glorious intro as I thought.
They're gonna go crazy at WrestleMania. They're gonna bring out
will.
a choir. They're gonna bring out.
No,
everything.
they will. They will. Of course, WrestleMania is gonna put out an amazing, entrances for their wrestlers. Of course, it's the biggest stage of them all. But you don't hear that on SmackDown anymore, right? I mean, it's like what's
Well, I'll
happening?
tell you why. He's not a heel. He needs to be a heel to be with that character the most effective. He needs to be a heel, and that's why he hasn't got the reaction from the crowd. If he was coming here and, he was a douche to everybody on the roster, I think that character of being glorious and being self-centered, which is what he's doing, would be a lot more effective. So I think that's why he's kind of in mid-card limbo right here.
I call it mid-card hell, y'all.
It's whatever.
It's called
mid.
So
mid-card hell.
he already entered hell. Then.
He already inherited.
He's in hell.
How do you get out of hell, though?
That's a great question.
Fight your way.
That's
But
it's an eternity thing.
no, I also think, though, what are we expecting of Bobby Roode to be in the WWE Championship picture? I mean, the U.S. title picture is looking like it's a mid-card WrestleMania match, but that's AJ Styles did that when he came into the WWE. AJ Styles did not vault right to the main event. He faced Chris Jericho at WrestleMania 32. And Bobby Roode's getting to face Randy Orton. I think it's actually it's perfect booking. As far as his character not getting over as much, though, I think it's just basically because he's not a heel. I think he was a heel all through NXT, or most of NXT, and that's why he was so over, because everyone would go to challenge him, and he'd do the glorious thing, and then he'd win the title, and then he'd boast, and he'd walk out in his suits. Well, walking out in your suit when you're a good guy a lot of times isn't the most effective thing. And I think that's why he's not getting over, but I do like the way where he is in the match. I do not really understand this whole Jinder Mahal thing. I'm hoping that this gets kind of fixed in the next 3 weeks, because I do think it's weird that the two mid-card titles are also having triple threat matches. I thought they'd differentiate. I thought maybe Jinder Mahal would be like special referee for Orton and Bobby Roode.
I can't
No,
see
It's
that.
just something like something like that where it's a one-on-one match. Because I actually really enjoyed that Randy Orton Bobby Roode match at the pay-per-view.
I thought it was okay.
It was
was
solid.
okay.
It was an old school match. I do like the old
It
school
was
matches.
slow, and Randy Orton's matches are so slow. I guess I understand he slows down
old
his
school,
style
though.
to make sure. Yeah, I mean, I can respect that. He slows down his style to make sure that he to avoid injury, and he does it for psychology purposes to get the crowd into the match. And his whole thing is supposed to be he's a Viper, so Viper is supposed to manipulate you, and then out of nowhere he strikes with that
Slither,
RKO.
yeah, absolutely.
But
Good
I
point.
mean, like in the matches, like come on, these matches that he has, it just seems like wash, rinse, and repeat, same old thing over and over and over again. I want to see some flexibility in his matches a little bit more. And last week was just it was alright. And also, I think another thing with Bobby Roode's whole character is his finisher. I think he needs to get something else other than a DDT. Like, the Glorious DDT doesn't do enough for me. Like, he doesn't have a cool enough finisher that really gets the crowd motivated. The crowd will pop for.
Well, that's the problem right now in the wrestling industry, is that it's really hard to come up with a finisher.
It's a great point.
Yeah, it's really hard. I did see this one interview about Bray Wyatt, and they asked him about the DJ. Asked him like, yeah, it's really hard to pull something, like a finisher move like Sister Abigail, because Sister Abigail, like, you give him the kiss goodbye and then you throw him down on the ground, and like a DDT like Bobby Roode, it's like there's no beat to it, like there's no flavor, like there's nothing to like.
It's just a DDT.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, essentially, at least Jinder Mahal's move is somewhat not creative, but I haven't seen it before. I've seen a DDT.
Yeah.
Every Randy Orton match, I see a DDT.
I think it's just, I know. I think it's just over the fact that we've seen so many finishers over the years, and it's really hard to come up with, something to grab the fans or something to all inspire, the fans, because we have all seen it. Like, even we see it in the indies, like you see like some sort of impossible finisher, and then you apply on WWE. It's, I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard these days.
It is difficult.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid. Still a okay match. I mean, going into WrestleMania, I don't understand why they're doing all these multi-man
Yeah, I don't see that either.
matches, battle
I
royals.
actually-
It reminds me of WrestleMania 16, ironically, in a Honda Center.
Going way back.
In Anaheim. I mean, all these
2000?
matches, 2000.
Yeah.
There was only one match on the card that was a one-on-one match, and it was a women's match,
Crazy.
a divas match that wasn't even for the title.
Nobody's watching
Yeah,
that.
like everybody was definitely going to the bathroom during that match during that time. Like nobody cared during that time. I'm sorry.
Just the problem was that they don't have any plans for the wrestlers, and unfortunately, that's why there's like matches like the Andre the Giant battle royal, and also you have these triple threat fatal 4-way, and also 5-on-5 tag team matches, or ladder match. And there's rumors about that tag in this year's tag team match.
The SmackDown one?
No, well, there's rumors that the Young Bucks might show up
Ooh.
at WrestleMania.
Hey, Young Bucks, don't do that, man.
What match though?
Don't do that, man.
The tag team match
Against the
is-
bar.
No, which tag?
But it's
Okay,
not. It's
but
not going to happen.
We
It's
saw on Raw what probably is going to happen.
Braun Strowman.
I like that too. It's creative. I've never seen that before.
Who's Braun Strowman going to team up with?
I think he's just going to win the titles himself.
That's what I think
Dude,
too.
that'd be great.
That'd be
Right.
awesome.
But let's talk about that when we go to Raw. Let's continue.
Braun
with
just
SmackDown
being
now.
Braun.
We're talking about Bobby. I agree with the whole why they're adding I don't know why they're adding so many people to all these matches. I get you want to fit everybody on the card, but that doesn't mean the championships all have to be defended in multiple matches. So we're now seeing a tag team match where there's more than likely going to be 6 dudes, right? Now that one actually makes sense because there's clearly not a true champion on that roster right now. So you kind of do need multiple guys.
Who are we talking about? We talking
The
about
Usos.
SmackDown or Raw?
We're talking about SmackDown right
The
now.
Usos.
Okay.
The
The Usos are the clear champion.
No, because I believe New Day could. I did not see that Bludgeon Brothers thing. I did not see that coming. Okay, and I thought New Day might win the title, so they'd have the rematch at WrestleMania. It'd be an easy way to have the rematch at WrestleMania. I could see the New Day beating them. I could see the Bludgeon Brothers beating any of these teams. Like, so I think that's okay when you don't really know who the true champions are, to have multiple guys in it. But in the U.S. title case, Randy kind of seems like the United States champion, and then you have two guys coming after him. You added Jinder Mahal. Even with, let's say, the Intercontinental Championship on Raw, just to jump over there real quick, I still feel like Miz is the true Intercontinental Champion, and I don't see why they had to add Finn Balor and Seth Rollins. Have Finn Balor go do something else with somebody else, then you have another, you know what I'm saying? So,
we talked about this. I think the Miz problem is the baby. Like, we don't know those guys.
He's going to be at WrestleMania.
Those guys are there just in case for him to lose it real quickly so he can go be with Maurice.
I don't think that's happening. I think no matter what, he's wrestling. Like I said, if you're in the World Series, which is what this is, or you're in the Super Bowl, you ain't going home to see your kid get born. Sorry, Super Bowl's more important that day. I'm just saying. Anybody
WrestleMania over baby? Damn.
No,
WrestleMania
absolutely.
Right,
it's the wrestling business is your life. Even more than your kids a lot of times.
All right, Paul Heyman.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So if this was Fastlane, Miz can miss it. But WrestleMania, especially when you're a star like The Miz, who's, kind of is a representative for WWE in a lot of different ways, I think he's going to have to wrestle at WrestleMania. I think it'd be very strange if he wasn't there. Plus, it would have to pretty much take his kid to be born during the show. Because even if your kid's born Saturday, you can come to the show Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So for Miz to have to miss WrestleMania, it would have to literally happen right when the show is going on. I think any other way, the way these wrestlers travel, there's no excuse not to be able to get there today. So I think that's obviously that's an interesting topic that if that were to come up, we'd discuss that. But anything else people want to discuss about the Fastlane pay-per-view before we kind of dive in fully to the SmackDown?
Shinsuke Nakamura. How about that Rusev Day mic? First of all, they got Rusev Day mic and the Shinsuke Nakamura Rusev match. Man, that was a great match.
Good start to the show. Great booking. Great booking.
That was a good start. Awesome. It was a good start. I give him credit, and it's time for Shinsuke to get rolling, man. Like he's just been in limbo. I think everybody can agree that Shinsuke's just been in limbo for the longest time. It's time to get rocking and rolling.
Well, and it's going to happen.
And this AJ Styles match, the build-up, and we'll talk about that in a second, doesn't seem to be too great.
Well, but
the match will be fantastic.
Yeah. If you've seen them in New Japan Wrestling, then you know what to expect.
Well, I think what they're actually banking on this time, and it's rare, is that outside WWE success. I think they realize that everybody's going to watch this match. They don't need to build it down. And I've said this before. If you have a fantastic match, which is what I think this is going to be an all-time match at WrestleMania.
And put together a really great promo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Absolutely. But if you're going to have an all-time match, it's okay if the build isn't that good, because the match is so good that everyone forgets about the build. Nobody cares.
It kind of reminds me of The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania 17. The build-up wasn't fantastic.
But everyone knew.
But it had a great promo, perhaps the greatest promo of all time with My Way and Limp Bizkit. And then everybody knows the matchup was awesome. It was my favorite Rock Stone Cold match of all three WrestleManias.
Well, what about that match between Rock and Hogan at WrestleMania 18? Did you think that it needed a build?
No, that was a lot of build.
That was actually a lot of build with NWO and
they ran him over and stuff like that.
And the last Raw, I believe, had a huge 6-man tag team match with NWO versus Stone Cold, The Rock, and one other wrestler.
No, it was just 2.
Oh, it was 3 versus 2 handicap match. All right, we're gonna have to look back.
I actually went back last year after I went back in like May and watched the whole build up with that. So I have probably the most recollection of this. There was a lot of build. That's the exact opposite of what I'm talking about. Where we saw a lot of build, for example, was last year with John Cena and The Miz.
Oh yeah,
there was a lot of build. And obviously the build was eventually for John Cena to propose to Nikki Bella, but there was a lot of build for that match. And if you would have only gave them 4 weeks, that match probably wouldn't have been billed as well. It probably wouldn't have been as exciting to watch. I was actually excited to see that match because there is so much build. There was so much hate between those two. But I think in this case with Nakamura and Styles, you don't need that much. You only need 4 weeks of build because really there's been build since the Royal Rumble. We all knew, hey, let's see how AJ Styles gets to WrestleMania to face Shinsuke. So there's someone has been kind of build since the Royal Rumble.
I think the issue is this. We don't really know how to do a build that's unique outside of, okay, let's do a promo segment. Okay, let's face each other. Let's have a tag team match. Okay, let's do a contract signing. Okay, let's just randomly face off face to face and then we're fighting. I mean, I guess in some ways you can appreciate what they're doing with Roman Reigns in the unique style. We'll talk about that in a second. But I think they're just going about it the wrong way. But I mean, at least, like let's think outside of the box and let's do something unique and exciting that gets us like really amped for this match. And it's the same old rinse and repeat formula in the WWE that's been tried and true for years. I just don't get it. What were you gonna say, Eric? I know I kind of cut you off.
Oh no, nothing. It's just that going back to build-ups, like they only got 4 weeks to do this, right? They only got a couple weeks to build this. Well, if they want to build it up, then fine. But to me, I don't think you just need. I don't need to see like a big ass build up hatred promo between each other. Because we both know that Nakamura doesn't do any promo skills, right? And AJ Styles isn't really all that good,
Pause. Why the heck are they having Shinsuke Nakamura and Asuka talk on the mic?
Yeah, dude, I was going to say the same thing. It's been terrible.
I wanted to bring that subject.
Both on Raw and SmackDown, Asuka has been awful.
Like, I just...
That's why I like when Alexa makes fun of the fact that she can't speak English that well. Because it's real. It's like, dude, we don't understand her either. Alexa, we agree with you.
It's embarrassing, man. Stop it. Asuka and Shinsuke Nakamura can both express themselves through their face, through their non-verbal body language. Like, especially Asuka. I keep pointing back to the point with Ember Moon. Like, at the Royal Rumble, when she's pointing at Ember Moon and making fun of her arm injury and whatnot, that was good television. Or when she's mocking Sasha Banks, doing the whole boss thing.
Match, though.
Yeah, but see, those types of things. Or, okay, what about after the match with Charlotte? Okay, and Charlotte, she comes out and confronts Charlotte at Fastlane and how she looked at, like, it's those types of things. Words don't need to be said. And, like, we don't have to keep doing these promos like this. Like, Charlotte and Asuka aren't good promo people. And Charlotte's got to carry that whole thing. Come on, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No,
Pause.
No.
Okay?
No, don't worry, man. It had to be said because
absolutely.
they're not going to get it.
You can click play now on the remote, okay? We're back on it, all right?
No, yeah, definitely, man. I totally agree with you. It's with Nakamura and Asuka, as much as I love them, in the ring, it's just the promo skills. It's not there. I'm sorry. And to people out there who think it works, where are you guys at? Seriously, you guys stop smoking, okay?
But whatever you have, maybe I need it because it is midterm week. I mean, actually, no, I don't do that. No.
It's kind of sounded like you did, though.
It's just to relax people, I guess.
No.
What is it, just to be super specific, that you don't do? What were you actually talking about in that segment? I'm just a little confused.
The kinds that Jeff Hardy does.
Oh,
okay. All right. Allegedly.
Is that leading into possibly something right here?
Salute to Ryan Rance. I mean,
it's the Ryan Rance time.
Is it right now? No, I don't think so.
No,
this is a tease. It's a tease.
I was
a tease.
Yeah, okay. Because I wanted to talk about, do you really think that with the Money in the Bank contract, because Carmella still has the briefcase, do you think she's going to cash it in at WrestleMania?
Why would she do that? Just put that girl on Raw and let her cash in flukily.
Oh man, that's going on. That's going on the sound bites.
Let's do a fluky cash in against Nia Jax, okay? Like after she gets involved in the Superstar shakeup in May or in April. Because, like, we all know that Carmella's not beating Asuka or Charlotte. Like, it's not happening. Like, the best chance you had to do you had a chance to do that cash in was after the Riot Squad destroyed Charlotte and Carmella ran down there. They should have did the cash in right then and there, and then there should be a triple threat, honestly, at Fastlane, with Carmella getting beat by Charlotte, and then Asuka comes out and challenges Charlotte.
That would kind of kill Carmella's character, though.
I mean, yeah.
I think
Carmella's character got killed when they released James Ellsworth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, when they released James Ellsworth.
Fair point.
Like they killed her when that happened because that was her heat magnet. And once you cut away a heat magnet, and a character really doesn't have enough to throw. All it is, and plus she's hot too. And we keep saying this. If a woman's
saying she's hot, man. People don't believe us.
If a woman's super hot, Like, people are really gonna boo her. It's just like with Alexa Bliss right now with this Nia Jax storyline. Like, I don't know if she's gonna get booed at New Orleans.
She's been mean.
Yeah.
She's been mean.
Yeah.
But I'm cheering the hell out of her.
Yeah,
She started our Raw too, and I
it's
was very
hot
excited.
though.
I was like,
She's
oh,
hot.
yes.
Yeah, it's like, well,
You love bad girls, don't you, man?
Yeah, Ryan likes those bad girls. Oh man,
It's Thirsty
we saw
Thursdays,
some bad
man.
girls this weekend, but we're not gonna get into that.
oh yeah.
But
Undisputed.
undisputed.
Give him the WWF belt.
Give him every championship they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's super inside stuff. Well, if you're friends with us, you know what we're talking about.
If he's listed, he's probably listed in this podcast.
listening. He's like,
yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
absolutely. But so is it time for it's time for Eric's indie segment right now, indie update.
Really?
I do want to hear a lot of this because I know you had a lot to say.
Actually, there's a lot of stuff going on.
That's what I'm saying,
in
and you were
indies, man.
you're excited, so I want to hear this.
Yeah.
This is Eric's indie update.
Okay, so if anybody has been keeping updated with Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore show, you should know that Joey Mercury has shown up to his promotion, and he challenges him in a Long Island street fight this coming March of the 23rd. And they both shook hands. And then Joey Mercury low blowed him. He gave him a low blow, and that cost him heat. Tommy Dreamer got upset, and that's how the challenge got started. Not only that match is going to take place, but also Killer Cross is going to take on Little Guido, as we know him as Nunzio from the WWE, in a submission match.
Where's the FBI?
Yeah, where's the FBI?
Yeah, that's true.
Investigating college basketball, but
Oh.
we'll keep going.
Oh,
That makes sense. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
of course.
But go ahead.
Hey, it's March Madness.
It is
March Madness, yeah.
Let's go Duke.
It starts in like 30 minutes. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, a little bit of plug right there, huh, Ryan? And also, Brian Cage is going to take on Sami Callihan, also known as Jeremiah Crane from Lucha Underground, versus Willie Mack at the House of Hardcore show. And the NWA, Nick Aldis defeated Crimson. We all know him from TNA. And Nick Aldis was issued a challenge by Cole Boom Boom Cabana. And this is going to take place in Shanghai, China next month. It's going to be for the NWA Championship. So I'm excited about that. Also, over in Ring of Honor, for the Ring of Honor 16th anniversary show, Austin Aries showed up. He had the TNA World Heavyweight title, and he had the TNA Grand Championship with him, and he's challenging Kenny King for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. And
Good old Kenny King from The
know.
Bachelor.
all right.
Yeah.
And so that's the
Jim
only.
Cornette.
That's all I need to say. Jim Cornette, look up Jim Cornette.
Dude, that guy has
Kenny
like the funniest
King.
rants ever. Jim
Better than
Cornette.
Michael Rappaport, Eric?
It's out there.
It's close, right?
close.
Guys, I know you're a big Michael Rappaport fan, but
Oh, that guy. I did send you
he sends me all the time.
Yeah, all the time. Both of you guys.
I enjoy it every single time, too.
It's funny.
Mine's was great yesterday. The one I sent you with Sunny yesterday. Dolph Ziggler.
All Sunny.
Oh, my God. Oh, Sonny and Dolph Ziggler.
Oh.
Although I don't really think that's not necessarily worthy of an ooh. I think they just liked each other and had sex. I don't think there's that much to it. He had a concussion too while it was going on.
Yeah,
Maybe his head wasn't in the right place.
Yeah, his head wasn't in the right place, man.
Oh,
Literally and figuratively.
well, Sonny has always been the figure backstage, if you know what I mean.
The figure.
Yeah.
And that could mean multiple things.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
She's also done porn too.
Allegedly.
Anybody
Yeah.
know. Go look up Sonny on porn.
That's why
Did you ever see
she.
some good shit?
That's why she sold her Hall of Fame
Shouldn't
ring.
say that.
Nope. Oh.
You get this kicked off,
Oh, yeah, it's
man.
kicked off.
Allegedly.
Hey man, we ain't live on the radio or anything. We do a podcast. It's good.
You mean
Hey.
allegedly with?
What do you mean allegedly? You look up Sonny in porn. It's not legend. She's on porn.
Alleged. I don't want to get sued.
It's not legend.
I'm
What
a
do
college student.
you want me to look it up right now?
I'm a college student. No, I don't want you to. I don't
I
want
mean, I
to
have
see
some
it.
viruses on my
I'm
phone,
not,
but
I'm not
I'm willing to take
I'm not
the risk.
interested in seeing that. I'm not interested in seeing any of
Ryan's
that.
making stuff up. He knows exactly what we're talking about. He talks about this stuff all the time. He's trying to cover his ass on the podcast. right now.
Allegedly.
No, it's not allegedly. Sonny was a porn star for about a year. This is not-
Allegedly.
yeah. Oh,
Is that why
fucking
she sold her Hall of Fame ring?
I think so.
Yeah.
That or the
She.
constant time she's in jail.
but
Oh, my.
allegedly.
How did the indie segment turn into the Sunny bashing
Hold on,
segment?
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
Eric,
Well, no.
This was actually good too. It's
Well,
let's
you
keep-
can. Who knows? You might see her in the Indies because Sunny.
That's a good point. I mean, you're not going to see her in WWE.
Yeah, you're not gonna see her anytime soon. Yeah. And also, last but not least, over at WrestleCon, we're gonna be seeing Eddie Edwards taking on Sami Callihan in an I Quit match, and it's basically gonna be Lucha Underground versus Impact Wrestling stars at WrestleCon, and this is gonna take place during WrestleMania weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the thing is that on Saturday, it's gonna have Impact Wrestling and Lucha Underground that night. They're going to be trying to rival with the Hall of Fame ceremony in New Orleans, Louisiana.
Wait a minute. Saturday's NXT.
It's NXT.
And Friday's the Hall of Fame.
UFC is also competing with NXT too. That
Oh,
That's
because,
just going to be ridiculous.
well, because
what a crazy. We're gonna have so much
wait,
to talk about.
Yeah.
wait, they changed it because I thought that Saturday has always been Hall of Fame.
No, Friday's been the
No,
Hall of
they
Fame.
changed it last year because of NXT.
Oh, okay, my
NXT
bad.
I
Yeah,
think
my
it was
bad.
before last year.
I think
Okay.
NXT is the perfect build-in for WrestleMania.
Okay, my bad. Yeah,
so
'cause
anyway.
My bad because when I read that it's going to be happening during the Hall of Fame, and they're going to try to rival with the Hall of Fame ceremony. And since NXT is going to take place in New Orleans as well on Saturday, so it's going to be this WrestleMania weekend is going to be filled with nothing but pure pro wrestling to anybody who's living in New Orleans, Louisiana. You know, for those out there who are living out there, you guys are lucky. You guys are lucky to go over there to these conventions and
I might have to just
ceremony.
cop me a ticket real fast and just fly out there. I mean, this is too good. This is just always now WrestleMania itself. I don't know. I mean, I heard tickets are still available for WrestleMania. I heard it's not sold out yet.
It's always like that though.
Yeah,
It's always like
but
that.
like in terms of getting, and by the way, if
It's
I,
gonna
if-
sell out.
next time we go to a WWE event, we've always said this: we need to sit on the hard camera side. You know, where the wrestlers are actually facing us.
That happened to me one time in TNA.
Yeah, we have to sit
Back
on the
forward.
hard camera side because we missed the hard camera side. We probably, I mean, I was waiting on you guys, but I mean, you know, WrestleMania.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I was. But at the end of the day, I mean, that's just a great experience. You can't miss out on that experience, and you know, I would be down there for WrestleCon.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, if you can't make it to WrestleMania, there's always WrestleCon. You know, you get to see some of the stars, and I know that Stone Cold will be there at the WrestleCon as well. He's
Okay,
been
now
advertised.
I've got to cop tickets now.
You know.
Stone Cold's
So-
be, or just drive up to El Segundo and get one of those Stone Cold IPAs.
I don't drink beer.
You don't drink beer?
You
Well,
know
then
this.
It's too bad.
Yeah, I don't drink beer.
You've never said you don't drink beer. You can not like it, but you never said you don't drink beer.
When you come to my house, do you see that around my house?
No, but if I bought you a beer at a bar, you wouldn't drink it.
No.
Oh man,
That'd be a waste of
it's two for me.
that'd be a waste of $12.
Two for me.
Well, Stone.
No,
Well,
just say the Honda Center. Most
Well,
beers
you win,
cost
Nick.
like $6, something like that. Honda Center they cost $55.
50. Nah, they always jack up the prices in these stadiums, especially in concerts, dude. They always go
BS,
$5
Some
extra.
BS. Except when I'm working the concerts and I'm trying to get tips, then it's not BS. Now, make it as much as you want.
Wait a minute, is this Nick's non-rent or
It's not. No, we're gonna do it.
okay,
We're gonna do it a little
alright.
bit later. I have a
Alright.
very good segment
Mhm.
for us later. But
Can I guess it?
you can guess it, but you're not gonna get it.
Is it going to be the NCAA tournament?
No, it's not. It's not
Okay.
gonna be.
Okay, so that's basically it for the indie update.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna go crazy once we reach WrestleMania week because we are leading
You're
into
gonna have a lot
WrestleCon.
to talk about.
Yeah, because I know a lot of the wrestling organizations, they're all gonna go, nuts with their conventions and their shows. It's leading up to WrestleMania.
There's gonna be so much to talk about. It might be Eric's triple threat topic of the day.
No, yeah, definitely.
There might be so much to talk about.
Who
We might have a
knows? I
topic
mean,
on it. Yeah.
because I've been seeing like a lot of these wrestlers, like Austin Aries, going from TNA to Ring of Honor. I don't even know if that's even allowed for him to even defend his
I
titles.
saw that too.
It's allowed.
Ring of
It's
Honor.
allowed. They have it in their contract now, and it makes them more money because they
Yeah.
don't get paid that much. So
Right. Okay. So if that's were to happen, then I'm seeing more connections with these indie promotions than ever before because I'm seeing like a lot of their guys switching over from Lucha Underground to Japan to Impact Wrestling to almost everywhere. So you don't know. You might see these guys at WrestleMania. Who knows? Maybe some of them, since they're WrestleCon is close to WrestleMania, you might see them.
I mean,
live or no?
I mean, the Hardy Boys just, a night after a ladder match with the Young Bucks were showed up at WrestleMania
That's
in
right.
another ladder match.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
and apparently Vince McMahon told the Young Bucks, "Hey, be careful, be careful with them because they're coming to WrestleMania the next day."
Absolutely.
Do you think you might see the Bullet Club maybe outside of WrestleMania, like maybe, I don't know, protesting or?
I mean, if the Bullet Club wants to be that NWO DX, they want to be that group that everybody remembers them for, then why not do it against the biggest company, there is. It's not going to work, though. But, I mean, you could try. You could definitely try, but the WWE is a machine, and that machine pumps. And they've got multiple things that keeps that machine going.
What we'd be looking at is literally like a high school football players going to an NFL game and protesting. Like, that's how much the difference is between the Indies and WWE. It's to some extent.
Well,
like, the popularity of indie wrestling is such a what am I looking? It's such a niche thing.
Like I said,
whereas WWE is it's not necessarily even. It's a niche thing, but it's so popular in popular culture. No pun intended, but
people know it.
Yeah, it's so
popular. They know it.
Every single time, like I'll be in class or I'll make a WWE reference and someone will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Even if they don't watch it every single week, someone will know what I'm talking about. I mentioned that I went to Raw when I got back to school, and like half the class was, "Oh, that's so cool!" Like you know what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't know all you guys liked, So I think. If you're gonna, you have to have a promotion get popular enough to battle them. I don't think it's just a group. I don't think a group can do it.
Yeah.
But we talked too much about that. Let's transition to two guys that are probably the furthest away from indie wrestling, and that is John Cena and the Undertaker.
Wait a minute. Are we gonna talk about Roman Reigns too? We're gonna talk about Roman Reigns in this whole.
We might,
thing?
but we're gonna talk about John Cena and the Undertaker first. That's what the segment is. That's what the triple threat topic is, right? So we gotta talk about that first.
I gotta talk about Roman Reigns.
No, we will. We'll jump into that. So this is gonna
Y'all think we idiots?
We're gonna be talking about John Cena and Undertaker because we have some takes on that. And I actually want to hear your take on a certain question I'm gonna ask you. But and then we'll probably jump into a little bit of the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar shitty storyline. But
oh yeah, it's awful. It's award winning.
We're gonna go John Cena and Undertaker. Obviously, when we were there on Raw 2 weeks ago, John Cena teased that he had asked about a match for WrestleMania. Now we find out it actually is a storyline thing. More than likely, the Undertaker and John Cena have both known that they're going to face each other since however long back, probably the Royal Rumble.
Probably before the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, maybe.
I heard in December.
Maybe even possibly. So this, from what originally I actually thought might be just Cena going off the cuff when we were there saying they're not going to allow us to do the Undertaker-John Cena match. Now you see this past week, Cena going out, clearly storyline-wise, calling out the Undertaker, making fun of him on Instagram and all that stuff, or making fun of Michelle McCool's Instagram, because Undertaker seems to pop up there whenever he wants.
It's just poking at the dead man.
Absolutely.
By the way, why would you poke up on your wife's Instagram if your gimmick is that of a dead man?
Well, because I actually, maybe the Undertaker's so smart because the Undertaker's psychology has been so great. Is that he said, you know what, I'm gonna go on social media. I'm gonna keep myself out there a little bit, just so people remember.
He's the Undertaker, though.
I know, and of course wrestling.
But I guess this is the reality era. This is what we're in now. We're in the reality era.
Yes.
So with social media,
I thought the new era. What happened to the new era, or is it dead?
I thought that was the new generation.
I don't
era.
even know. You know what?
No.
This is the reality era.
Yeah, no, it's
the social media age.
The millennial.
The millennial era.
There you go.
Hey, we just coined a new phrase, man.
The millennial era, right there. Yeah, the WWE's in its millennial era right now. You heard it from the Ring Generals first. Salute to the millennial era.
Salutes.
But so John Cena and Undertaker, I think the biggest question here, because obviously they're going to have a match. Biggest question here is, what? And I'm going to ask both of you. I want you to just give me an answer. Just give me an answer, and then we'll analyze it. Ryan, I'll ask you first. Which Undertaker shows up? The dead man or the American badass? Ooh. Just answer the question. Don't analyze it. Just what's your guess?
It's gonna be the dead man, even though it should be the American badass. But like I told you earlier, Kid Rock is being inducted into the Hall of Fame. And who did the first ever Undertaker American Badass theme song?
I think that'd be Kid Rock. Keep rock. Okay, so Eric, your opinion. Who shows up at WrestleMania to face John Cena? The Dead Man or the American Badass?
Damn right, the American Badass.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I got the American Badass, too. I think he's going to show up. I think, Ryan, you want him to show up, too, obviously, right?
You want to know why?
I want the American Badass.
Me too.
Because it just doesn't
Me
work
too.
anymore at the Undertaker gimmick. He put his gloves, he put his coat, he put his hat
symbolic,
in the middle of it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to talk
The
about. Yeah, I was
the
gonna
old
say.
dead man is gone,
Well,
man.
WWE did a good job in this sense, is that I legitimately thought that Undertaker was retiring last year. I
Right.
thought that's it. But what
Because
all he was doing was retiring the Dead Man character. He's come back. He's not going to be the Dead Man. He wasn't necessarily even the true Dead Man at Raw 25 either. He came out, didn't have his usual entrance, walked out of the ring. I get it was in the old place, but he still wasn't even truly the Dead Man there either. And so I think really the last time we're going to see Dead Man is at WrestleMania 32 or WrestleMania 33 after his loss to Roman Reigns. We're going to see either the American Badass or something hybrid, something in the middle
You
of
mean
that.
like the... Oh, sorry, Ryan. Yeah, what were you going to say?
No, I was just gonna say, like,
Go with Ryan.
we've seen the Undertaker, American Badass, or Big Evil versus John Cena before.
Yeah.
But not this way. We've also seen
We've
Randy
seen
Orton
it
versus John
before.
Cena before. We saw Edge versus John Cena before, and we saw Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock before. It was always different.
But
though.
the American Badass character works more for a younger, he's more agile Undertaker. It just doesn't work anymore for a guy who's in his 50s
How do you
with
know
the hip
we
move.
have not seen the American Badass character since what, 04?
But I saw him working out on Michelle's Instagram.
Well,
McCool's Instagram. and
Michelle, he says Michelle like he knows her.
yeah, but like I'm just saying, like that man does not look like he's still in the best of shape. I'm talking about from a straight up eye test physical standpoint.
Well,
He's
he's
got to
not-
lose the gut. I'm sorry. I don't want to be rude, but it's you know what? Actually, you know
work
what?
on your
This is the
cardio,
ring.
dude.
It's the Ring Generals, man. We talk that talk.
Absolutely, yeah.
The man is out of shape. From what I saw on Michelle McCool's Instagram. So if he comes to Raw next week, because he better come to Raw next week, because you've only got 3 weeks
I don't think
remaining
he's
to
coming to Raw
WrestleMania.
next week because, again, this has somewhat been building since we were there, the Raw after the Elimination Chamber. So this has actually sort of been a 6-week build in a way. I think it'd be too soon for the Undertaker to show up. I think he's going to show up in 2 weeks.
What is he, Brock Lesnar? Like the man has got to show
No,
up.
you know what? Now that I think about it, where is Raw next week?
Raw's
It's in Texas.
It's in Texas.
And that's where the
okay.
Undertaker lives. So now that I think about it, he probably is. showing
Home
up
state,
next
man.
week.
I mean, possibly, potentially, maybe, hopefully. But Eric, what were you gonna
Oh,
say?
There's a lot of hope words
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah.
Well, we both know that he did play the Dead Man character, but what about you guys left out on this other character that Undertaker played, and this is when he had a group with the Ministry of Darkness.
I don't think that's coming.
You
back,
know,
though.
that you guys left out that part too.
I don't
You know,
think that's
he-
PG enough to be in the WWE anymore.
Oh, come on,
That's why I'm
man!
asking.
This is has WWE really gone this soft
Absolutely,
over the
they
years?
don't even allow.
Have they
They
gone?
don't even have blood. How they
have-
gonna allow
have-
sacrifice?
Have they gone Disney over the years now?
Absolutely,
Wow,
they've gotten
wow.
Disney.
Have
But
you
they're
been
making a
watching
hell of a
since
lot more money.
2009, Eric? Because this thing has gotten super soft.
They've been making a lot more
Wait,
money.
so
though.
okay,
Yeah.
so they're not afraid to show old videos of him doing those sacrifices in the network, right? Like it looks like they're not afraid to do that. So
The network is geared more to us, adults. I mean, let's just be honest. That's who it's geared towards. That's why all this attitude era stuff is pushed down our throats. To almost to the point where people like me have gotten sick of it because, it's geared towards us because they know we don't like the current product. So how do you get them still hooked? By getting them hooked on their old product that they were used on and just let them binge watch that and let them watch stuff in documentaries and behind the scenes stuff and podcasts.
well,
and,
also
that's just the way it works.
well, also Undertaker he pretty much swore and cursed when he was the American Badass. So let's not forget about that. So what version are we going to be seeing? If
We're gonna see the one that swears and curses, like we saw the Rock's version that swore and cursed.
The Ministry of Darkness, by the way, Eric, would not work because you would need to have, in my opinion, if Bray Wyatt still had his
You need
group
to have
with
a
him,
huge build for that. Too.
you would need to have a huge build. And if Bray Wyatt still had his group, that would be the perfect
Oh, yeah,
person to
definitely.
take over.
Yeah.
And that's when the Undertaker blesses Bray Wyatt and says, "Hey, you are that next guy going into the new era."
that's a good
Who
point,
is going to be that? And Bray Wyatt calls himself the new face of fear. That's why if anybody should have broken the streak, in my opinion, a long time ago, it should have been Bray Wyatt. Because Bray Wyatt should have gotten the ability to get that rub to be able to say, hey, I am the new face of fear. I just beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania and ended his streak.
Not Brock, huh?
Not Brock. It should have been Bray Wyatt. But, that's a topic for another time. That's a conversation for another time. At the end of the day, we're getting the dead man Undertaker. You're going to hear that gong next week.
Right.
But the John Cena promo was great.
No,
It's
regardless.
fantastic.
Yeah, regardless, if we want to see the American Badass back, which would be cool, of course, that's a character I loved. But of course, WWE wants to keep that mystique, dark, dead man gimmick of his, then, well, we're going to be seeing that. And do you think that this will be ultimately Undertaker's last match? Because
100%.
they always say this
Yeah.
every year, like this is going to be Undertaker's last match.
He got announced
well,
for the Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
50-man Royal Rumble, though.
He did.
Yeah, he got announced for that. So will it be his last one-on-one match?
Yeah.
Probably. I can't see
Possibly,
the Undertaker.
or I think you might have mentioned this a lot, not in the podcast, but to me, just outside, just on the phone or something, that he might have his last match at Survivor Series, since that's when he
Where he
debuted.
debuted, yeah.
Correct. He debuted at Survivor Series.
Yeah, that would be a great way to sell Survivor
So maybe
Series.
that's the last time he wrestles is there. Or something. Maybe. Yeah,
But who does he go up against at Survivor Series? Kane again?
No, I don't think anybody would want to see that. You'd have to figure it out. Maybe John Cena again. Maybe something
Yeah, I
happens
don't
at
see-
WrestleMania. Maybe the Undertaker beats John Cena at WrestleMania, and then loses the Cena at Survivor. Something like that. I don't know.
Well, Kane, I mean, he's too busy, campaigning to be mayor for Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yeah, which I didn't know was Knoxville, Tennessee. That's
Knoxville,
a big ass city.
yeah.
That, let's go. Shout out to Kane, man. Shout out to Kane.
Yeah, Jericho.
Is he
interviewed
running
him.
as a Republican or Democrat? I
He's
have
running
no-
as a Republican.
No,
He's
He's running,
no,
no.
libertarian. No, he's libertarian.
Libertarian.
Yeah,
That makes a lot
He
more
has
sense.
Republican views. No.
That's what I thought. I'm voting for Kane no matter what. It's like the Rock runs for president. I'm voting for the Rock. I'm just saying.
Yeah, his Rock's running as a Democrat. Though.
Well,
If
also,
it doesn't matter.
Booker-
The
well,
Rock's
Booker-
running as the Rock. There's
So,
nothing.
yeah.
The Rock's running as the Rock. That's what he's running as.
Well-
What's your party, The Rock?
Yeah, the Rock. And I'll be like, okay, yeah, I'm part of the Rock.
well,
party
also, like Kane is
That's actually a great name for a party
The
right
Rock
there.
Party,
The
yeah.
Rock Party.
then.
well-
Rock party.
well, also he's not only the only one who's like running for mayor, but Booker
Rhino
T.
was. Rhino was too
Well,
back in the
well,
a little bit.
Well, Booker T. I was gonna say Booker T. He's also running for Houston, Texas.
Mayor of
yeah, it's
Houston.
even a bigger
That's,
city.
oh my goodness gracious!
You got to deal with hurricanes and stuff over there.
I know.
That's crazy stuff.
Yeah, and
You guys imagine if Booker T was the mayor when all that stuff happened last year with the hurricanes? Can you just imagine Booker T being on TV every day talking about, oh, we're going to do all this, and FEMA's not giving us stuff? Yeah, like, it'd be strange. Same thing with Kane, man. It's going to be weird if he has to yell like CNN.
I would secretly hope he would say, "Tell me he didn't just say that." Like, I mean, but in reference to Donald Trump.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm starting to see that a lot of these wrestlers, they're starting to get into politics. And I thought Kane, Booker T, I think Vader's also one of them.
Rhino also ran.
Well, also Vader is also like trying to get. I think he's been in politics for quite a while. And Rhino's also getting himself. I think he's gonna be. He wants to run for mayor in his city in Detroit.
How about Linda McMahon? She's in Trump's administration.
Oh, yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
you don't get more involved in politics than being in the president's administration.
Well,
Especially Trump right
yeah.
now.
Well, the
McMahon's-
McMahon family has always been associated with him for
The
a long
Republican Party.
yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, if you look
Lord.
at, I think Donald Trump has like 44 followers or something like, or he follows 44 people. One of them's Vince.
time.
And
Yeah.
you know
So
what's-
they're good friends.
And you know what's crazy too? Vince McMahon is about the farthest away from a Republican, like a staunch Republican as you get. Like, it's just crazy.
I think he's just friends with rich people. I think that's why they're friends.
Yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with politics with that friendship. It's the same, I think, with Brady and Belichick.
I hate politics.
Yeah, I know. How did we turn the Undertaker John Cena
why are we all
into
out
a
of
full on Lyndon McMahon?
We were talking about Kane.
And I definitely don't want to talk about Trump because he could be a Ryan Rants topic every week.
Yeah.
So let's not talk about Trump right now.
Do you think we should transition to Ryan Rants or?
No, I think we still got to talk about Raw a little bit more.
Raw?
Then
Okay.
I got a plan. I got a plan for a little later. It will all tie in.
So how about Cena? Do you think that's also would be his last match?
No.
Absolutely not.
No,
Cena's got so many matches left in him, and I'm still waiting on that heel turn. And I think you could do a heel turn against the Undertaker at this year's WrestleMania.
He's somewhat turned heel in some matches. Like you look at you look back at the when they had the big gauntlet match. Cena was acting like a heel against Seth Rollins, leading him on.
Telling the referee to stop the match because he wanted the match to end quicker to get on to the next opponent.
I believe there was I don't know why I can't remember this, but there was another time where he acted a little bit heel too, and he's been acting heel on the mic. I mean, going.
Roman Reigns. Was it the Roman Reigns storyline?
No. I'm guessing it was more recent. It doesn't matter. I just seen a lot of his matches recently. He's been a lot more heelish in the ring. He hasn't been the good guy Cena who's pandering to the crowd. It's more about beating the opponent and kind of talking trash to them in the ring, which is not a very, it's not what a face is supposed to do in wrestling. So I do think he would be somewhat of a tweener going into WrestleMania.
So little by little, he's starting to be that heel guy, like not as like already like, yeah, I'm gonna be a heel guy. Yeah, I'm gonna beat the living hell out of you. But little by little, like small little parts that we catch like that.
Well, I mean, even this him going on Raw and making fun of a guy for like being retired, semi-retired and fragile. Like that's a heel thing to do. What he did on Raw, talking about the Undertaker, was a heel thing to do.
I don't think so. I think it was more of him coaxing the Undertaker and trying to
poking.
Yeah, poking him and trying to get him to come out of the shadows.
Well, that's true.
That's what I think. And also, I wanted to say this. We talk so much about John Cena turning heel, but I keep saying this, and I think this is the first time I've said this on this podcast, but I've saying this to you guys when talking to each other in just normal conversation, that we cannot get a John Cena heel turn until Roman Reigns is universally cheered. Because you need that perfect baby face to go up against that super villainous heel. And Roman Reigns is right now as the
never
super
going to happen.
And it's not going to happen.
That's like saying,
and so that's not going to happen because of that.
But the problem with saying that is that's like saying we can't have something until John Cena is. It's just not the way the crowd. The way the crowd is now, and the WWE crowd is just different from how it was 10, 15 years ago. They cheer the bad guys a lot more now. So, and they boo the good guys a lot more. So it's a thing to boo. I've said this before. It's a thing to boo John Cena. All of a sudden, the crowd is not just going to start cheering for John Cena.
But there is a reason. There is a reason to boo a character. There is a reason to cheer a character. Not just because everybody else is doing it, but because there is something about that character that you just don't like, that you can't get up out of your seat and just go as loud as possible.
Click,
just click. And you can't get up out of your seat and you can't scream their name and just be like, hey, like, you have to boo them. There's something there with their character that is just not right. With John Cena, it was his character being bland. With Roman Reigns, it's the fact that he's getting pushed down our throats despite the fact that nobody wants to see him. There's something in a person's character that makes people say, hey, no matter how much people around me want to cheer this guy, I'm going to boo that man. I'm going to boo him.
Yeah, but I don't think – I honestly think now you look at 95% of wrestling fans, like hardcore wrestling fans, they're booing John Cena because it's the thing to do. It's not necessarily because they don't like John Cena. It's not necessarily because they think he's bad at wrestling, because obviously he's not, and he has bad – I mean, John Cena is a good wrestler, has great mic skills, has the pedigree to be a champion, but is still booed just based on the fact that – he's John Cena.
Well, I just think
so. It's hard to say that we just need to. It's just not the way. The wrestling fans aren't that way anymore. Even we're not that way. Like we'll boo a guy. When we were there, I was booing guys just to boo. You know, I wasn't. I like John Cena. I saying I don't have anything against John Cena, but I booed him and I said John Cena sucks when he came out.
Question for you: when Finn Balor came out, was he booed? No, people were doing the thing on the rope. They were chanting for him. Finn Balor, by the way, has tons of kid fans. He has tons of women fans, and I've said those are the two main things. If you want to get a market. If you want to be a top superstar or be at the potential to be a top superstar, you need to have kids and you need to have women in your corner.
That's what John Cena has.
Yes.
And so does Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
No, he does.
Roman,
Yeah.
Roman has that.
You just kind of
Yeah.
you muted your own point you were just trying to make.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're saying that that we should boo a guy based on I don't know. I didn't even know what the hell.
Yeah,
I'm talking about.
no, I didn't
What the hell am I
necessarily.
talking about, Eric?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
Eric, what's your take? What's your take?
I
on
just think that, for people who, I think it's just the hardcore fans that, boo Cena and Roman. And even though wrestling fans have changed over the years, I really feel that fans just are tired of having their intelligence being insulted because they know for a fact that we do not, want Roman as to be like our guy. Like, that is not our guy because he is basically, I don't hate Roman. I don't hate Roman. I just don't like the way how they're booking him. I don't know why WWE doesn't get it. But at the same time, this is the company that's gonna say, hey, this is gonna be your guy. This is gonna be your man for the next, I don't know, maybe 10 years, and we're going to shove it down your throat, whether you like it or not, because you're going to watch him, and guess what? You're going to see him at WrestleMania. And for Cena, I don't hate the guy. I don't hate the guy either. It's just I just never been a big fan of him, and I just never thought that he was like, my top favorite at all. It's just, I don't know, like if when they had the match between him and Roman, I kind of felt like at the same time, like I thought that Cena was going to retire after this match between Roman, and I thought that when Roman beat him, I thought to myself, I would have never thought to say this, but Cena, please don't go. Like, please don't go.
Yeah.
Because if you go, we're going to be stuck with this guy,
Well, also, there'd be zero star power in the WWE if John Cena left.
There is no big time matches and no big time stars besides John Cena and The Undertaker. It doesn't get more main event. It doesn't get more big time star quality.
I guess
match appeal than those two.
I shouldn't have said that. I mean, Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey are draws too. So
yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
I forgot
Ronda
about
Rousey,
that.
I think, is going to bring in a ton of interest into WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
She was on the Ellen show the other day.
Oh,
She was?
yeah.
Yeah,
she was.
did a really good job. Looked very gorgeous.
Well, it was better than the last time she was on it.
Oh yeah, she cried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Say that. Didn't look good last time she was on
didn't
it.
look- yeah,
I'm not
did
saying
not.
that. I'm not saying her
Well,
looks. I'm
after
just saying
her last
her whole
fight,
character didn't look good.
Yeah.
Just after her last fight was just pretty bad.
Hey man, but we've all had those moments in life where we.
I have never been knocked the hell out in 2 consecutive fights. No,
Yeah.
that has never happened to me.
Have you been knocked the hell out in life?
I've never
You got knocked the
dominated.
hell out of life.
No,
though.
I know. I avoid fights as much as I possibly can. As much as I talk about wrestling, any fight, I'm running. I'm 100% running. I'm going the other way. Unless one of my loved ones is involved, now I'll back them up and stuff like that. But I'm the guy.
Or
I'm,
me or Eric.
I'm the Miz.
Or me or Eric.
Absolutely, I'm the Miz type. I'm gonna hit you in the back of the head, and I'm gonna run the other way.
Would you want to fight Brock Lesnar, Nick?
No. I'd have to have
You
weapons.
want to see a killing on live television or on the street?
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. I'd be turned into human mush. Hey, speaking of Brock Lesnar, let's transition. Into we don't have a lot of time to talk about this, but Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar match booking. This for me, I'll tell you. Let me just say this.
So many holes
I'm gonna
in this.
grade. It's like Swiss cheese. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Ryan credit here. Okay. He said something to both of us at Raw. He's leaning in too. He's so excited.
Yes.
He's woke.
Yeah,
he's woke.
Yeah, he's woke.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give-
sleepier.
I'm gonna give credit to
Until you
Ryan
mention
right
my
now.
name.
Ryan said, "Don't get Don't get sucked in or don't get
manipulated, y'all.
Don't get manipulated." That was the
Y'all.
word.
Don't play yourself.
Now-
Blaster Dramas does it again.
Now I know exactly.
Blackie Chan.
I know exactly what you're talking about because when I got fooled when we were at Raw, I thought Brock just no-showed. Now I realize that it's entirely been a
It's
storyline.
intentional, okay?
The entire freaking time. And I got duped. But now, Ryan, to satisfy you, I'm not getting duped. I'm saying there's been a terrible storyline so far. Now looking at it from that perspective, obviously with the Vince stuff last week, Roman's promo seemed very scripted to me, even though it was not. It was supposed to be off the script.
How crappy was it saying Vince's boy, by the way?
Well, Vince's boy, and then Vince didn't know how to freaking talk in an interview in the segment either. Like, the crowd started saying you can't hear him. I couldn't hear him either. I was watching TV on like a 16 volume, which is a lot for my TV. Okay, normally I watch TV at about an 8, 10 volume. I turned it up to 16 because it's the start of the show and I was excited. Still couldn't hear Vince. I couldn't understand a word Vince said. If you were to ask me right now, Ryan, if you were to ask me from across the thing right now, what did Vince say about Roman Reigns? I have no idea besides the fact that he suspended him.
I think I heard him say, "Hey, all right, let's not do this. Let's talk about this in my office." And then he tried to diffuse the situation where I wanted to see Vince McMahon kind of get into it with Roman Reigns and start arguing and screaming at each other. Yeah. And then he's like, let's just go into my office.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's happened in real life. That happens all the time in a work environment. Like, you get upset at somebody. Like, it's happened to me in my job. I get upset. Me and my other manager guy, we're talking. We get angry at each other. We get heated. We go in the office. We settle it in the office.
But is it common to see the son in the middle of it?
I think it was BS that they had Shane McMahon at SmackDown at Raw. Excuse me.
What the hell is Shane doing on Raw?
Hey, man, and salute to Kevin Owens for jumping on that at Twitter, by the way. He was like, Kevin Owens got on Twitter and was like, hey, man, SmackDown Live had a live event tonight on Monday night, and good to see that Shane O'Mac was by his daddy.
Well, technically,
it's just to build up the storyline. Do you think so?
Well, technically, Shane McMahon is the commissioner of the SmackDown Live. I don't think that means he has to be at all the live events necessarily.
That would be Daniel Bryan's job.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan doesn't even show up to Fastlane PPV before WrestleMania.
I love how we just caught Kevin Owens on a technicality from a tweet that has something to do with a scripted storyline.
Yeah.
What the hell is wrong with us? But no, I thought that was huge BS. But look, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn made Shane pay this week.
Yeah, they made him pay all these.
Man, the poor man.
I watched that last night too. That was brutal.
Freaking the breath came out of Shane McMahon.
The man can't breathe.
I felt bad in my stomach.
I heard that. I was like,
they completely cut off his. I know.
Damn.
They completely cut off his oxygen. You know.
The best thing would have been if he would have bloodied him up. Kind of like what AJ
did.
Styles did.
Oh, yeah.
I got to admit, Shane McMahon be taking those bumps. But if you look at that man's salary, man, I'll be taking some bumps, too, for $2.5 million or whatever. 1.5 to $2.5 million. I'll be taking some bumps.
Dad's a billionaire, man. You just make money.
Yeah, I would just be taking them bumps, man.
Oh, that healthcare insurance? Oh, that should be.
I'm taking helicopter bumps, too.
Yeah.
Crashing in helicopters.
Crashing in
But, no, so back to Reigns and Lesnar, though. I'm just, we talk about build-up. Man, I swear to God, because you look at it, and there's been pretty solid build for every single match so far.
Except
Brock and Roman.
And is that?
Like, I'm excited about every match except Brock and Roman.
Now, the question is that going to be the
main event?
Yes. Or is it going to be the second?
Yes.
It's not going to be the main event.
It shouldn't be, but yes, it will be.
I think they have to put Nakamura and Styles as the main event.
No, it should be John Cena and The Undertaker.
Well, no.
That's the match.
That should only be the main event if this is Undertaker's last match. It's the only reason that should be the main event. That's the only reason. I didn't really think it should be main event last year until I realized what was happening, that Roman was going to win and all that stuff. I thought there was still a chance the Undertaker might win that match. It was unpredictable. But I think the only reason that would be main event is if Undertaker's retiring. And absolutely, if he's retiring, that should be the last match. But other than that, I think it should be Nakamura and Styles, but I think real wrestling fans know that would be the main event of any pay-per-view, period. And Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns is just it's not being built like that. It's being built for essentially Roman to take the title away. I don't really know who's going to win the Nakamura-Styles match. It's a crapshoot to me. And so
it's Nakamura. You got to have the Royal Rumble winner win at WrestleMania.
Oh, I can see that, but it's not 100% like this Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns thing where it's like Roman's winning the title. Let's just see how good the match is, and let's see if let's see if Brock stays really after that. That's really what we're looking at. But I think Nakamura and Styles got to be the main event because the build's been terrible.
Yeah, definitely. It's just a shame that this main event build up for Roman and Lesnar has been going very mixed as of late. I would say
You're
mixed.
saying mixed.
Yeah,
You're
because
being nice.
I'm actually being nice because there are actually fans out there that actually believe that this will be this is a main event that they've been wanting to see for a long time. Well, guess what, guys?
I mean, if
The
you're
way they're
7,
doing the way they're doing it right now, we're onto them. Like we're a lot smarter than you think because
Are we? Are we? Because we still watch this.
yeah.
We still do a podcast on this.
No, but
Hold on, I'm sorry. Are we? Because we still watch this. We still do a podcast. I gotta adjust my levels. I always gotta talk my levels.
I know.
Yeah. You didn't get a text message this week. I listened to that about 20 times.
You want to do this rant right
Yeah.
now, man.
Turn my mic on. But look, are we as smart as we really
No.
would like to
Let me-
think, or
let
the
me-
WWE
let me just-
really
Let me just
manipulating
interrupt
us
you
still?
really quick because, like I just said, every other match has been built well. So that's why we're watching. Just this main event match has not been built well, so we're disappointed. This would actually be looking like a really good WrestleMania if this match was built well, or if they just didn't have this match, because nobody really wanted this match anyways. It should have been I don't know, it should have been somebody else.
It should have been Braun versus
Braun
Lesnar,
Yeah.
and
I
then
mean,
have.
even Seth Rollins would be better.
But the
or
problem
Finn
is,
Balor.
where's Reigns gonna be? And you gotta have your boy Reigns somewhere. Reigns has always got to be somewhere.
Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
No, you can't do that. No, I mean you could have him. You just have him in a one-on-one match with a Balor. There was things you could do. I'm just saying, at least if you're gonna have this match, have the build be really good too, like it was back in for WrestleMania 31. The build was nice for that. Okay, there was some snafus.
And there was only 6 matches.
Yeah, no, exactly. But I was actually excited because Roman Reigns was still kind of a newcomer to the main event scene in a way. So I was like, let's see what Roman Reigns is to do. I had a feeling Brock Lesnar was going to win, and of course we had the Seth Rollins Money in the Bank, one of the best endings to a WrestleMania ever. But
Awesome.
yeah, it was absolutely awesome. But this year I was like, okay, if we're gonna have this match, once I found out that after the Elimination Chamber Roman had won, I said, let's at least build this, good. But that's not what they're doing. And maybe they'll do it the next 3 weeks, and they'll really come out with some banger promos or something like that, and they'll really come out with some good stuff like that. But I just don't see it happening. And I'm going to be somewhat disappointed in one of the main events. I just hope it doesn't end the show, because they're going to get booed out of the building if it ends the show.
Well,
all right. Well, that sounds like the end of the.
no, it's just
the Raw segment. We did say we
I got
to
be honest, dude. I got no comment
Yeah.
for the main event because as soon as we get to WrestleMania week, that's when
they got you.
we got to fire up.
They got you.
Yeah.
It's very simple. They've got you. That Vince McMahon's counting his money over there, and he's like, got him, because it's that simple. We went to a WWE event. We got to hang around with belts and do all this stuff, and we're there in the crowd, and we're contributing probably to the problem, aren't we?
Well, no, because they put on a good show. Here's a good example. So when you had the Super Bowl this past year, and you had the New England Patriots versus the Philadelphia Eagles, okay? For someone that's not, I don't like the New England Patriots, and the Eagles annoy me too. But I still watch the Super Bowl. Right? I even watched when the team I hate the most, the Seahawks, was playing the Patriots. I still watched it. I'm not going to not watch the Super Bowl. It's the same thing with WrestleMania. We're not going to not watch WrestleMania as wrestling fans. We're just going to voice our opinion about if we disliked it. But we're still going to say we're not going to watch WrestleMania, we're not going to watch the product anymore. It's ridiculous. You're not going to not watch football because you don't like a team that's dominating the sport. You're still going to watch football.
But does the WWE listen? But as with anything, with any company in America or in the world today, a company will listen once that profit is not showing what it used to be anymore. So if maybe... That's why I'm thinking about getting rid of the network after WrestleMania, because it's like I do this every year. We go up to WrestleMania, everybody's got excitement building in the air. There's actual care into storylines, or there's actual more importance for me. I get home usually, I don't really put an importance on watching SmackDown first. I watch my other shows first, but because it's WrestleMania season, it's time to watch SmackDown first.
Oh, in SmackDown
Okay.
was really good. This
I watch
past week,
SmackDown,
too.
and I don't have that much time, so I fast forward through a lot
Well,
of
quick-
WWE television now.
Quick note. SmackDown actually had its highest ratings since I believe after the Superstar shakeup.
Oh,
So they actually had giant ratings last week for SmackDown. 'Cause
really?
I think people watched that pay-per-view and saw what happened with Shane McMahon and wanted to see what the hell was going to happen on SmackDown. So SmackDown,
Or if John Cena was going to show up with the Undertaker.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But I think once you saw Cena on Raw, if you're a wrestling fan, because you're watching Raw and SmackDown, you're not watching one or the other. But I think people are they're thinking the same thing, at least that I'm thinking, where the storylines for SmackDown are being built very well.
Yeah.
All of them are.
Yeah, because Cena, he went to SmackDown because he thought that he had no, he was not going to have like.
He's not going to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, he thought that he wasn't going to have like any WrestleMania plans, so he lost to AJ Styles and 5 other guys. So for him to go to SmackDown, there'd be no point. So
Hey, absolutely. I totally agree with that.
and that's where he issued the challenge to the Undertaker in the first place when we were there, and him coming to SmackDown would be pointless.
You know what I would have liked Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan to do? Make the stakes a lot harder for John Cena. It was just one match, one opportunity against the WWE champion. Like, I would have been like, oh, so you want to go to Raw, and then we're like your side chick? You want to go to us when things not going right?
John Cena,
You want to go there? All right, we're going to make things a lot harder for you.
He's a free agent. He's a free agent. He can do it. It's not like
Doesn't
he's
matter
a
when
Raw
you show up
superstar.
on SmackDown. Just because you're a free agent, that don't mean you can't win match. If you don't win matches, you don't get in the championship.
Look at Jinder Mahal, the way he won the national championship. The
Should have made that man go through a gauntlet. Why not have John Cena go through all 5 dudes?
no, because nobody else had to go through all 5 dudes. He
I'm just
qualified
saying.
for the match, and he beat AJ Styles 1, 2, 3 in the ring.
Which was ridiculous that you offer up your champion like that
No,
in a
because
non-title
They're
match.
proving that John Cena is still a legitimate threat. But we've been talking enough on this subject. We need to move on, and we're gonna move on to we're close to Ryan Rants. We're close. We're gonna do my segment first. Okay.
I'm about to rant because I'm hungry.
Okay, but
Like-
so we got we're gonna do Nick's completely random non-wrestling segment of the day.
Take a breather from wrestling.
And Ryan, you were somewhat right a little bit earlier today about an NCAA bracket.
Oh,
we're not doing an NCAA bracket. I'm combining 2 things I like. I like watching the March Madness,
You like a lot of things.
and I like the Arizona Cardinals football team. Yesterday, we lost a player, one of our better players on the team, the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu.
That's
Now, although I haven't been
fantastic.
a fan of Tyrann Mathieu,
Are you going to do what I think you're going to do? Are you going to bring up what we talked about on Saturday night?
No, hold on. Just wait. Let me do my
Okay,
segment.
I'm sorry.
Anticipation is running.
Yeah,
All right.
no, Ryan wants to guess it every single time now, but I'm getting too creative, so he's never gonna be able to guess it ever again. He got two. You got lucky 2 weeks in a row. Okay, but so I'm gonna combine 2 things. Honey Badger got released, but I want to combine Honey Badger with a bracket. So I have an 8. I have a 8 animal bracket here.
What?
To go, and I'm putting the actual Honey Badger in this, and the actual Honey Badger animal. We're doing a fight to the death bracket right here.
What?
8-man.
This is
or
illegal in some states,
8
man.
animal tournament. to
Michael
see-
Vick got put in jail because of this.
8 animal tournament to see who is the most badass animal on the planet. Who's the national champion animal? So here we go. We're gonna go. So we're all gonna debate this. So I got 4 different matchups. Right? 18.
I'm not feeling this one,
18
man.
bracket. It doesn't matter.
I will not be promoting this.
We're gonna do it.
This will not be promoted this week.
So we got Honey Badger versus a lion. What's the more dangerous thing? Who do we think wins that matchup? Right there.
Lion.
Lion. What about you, Ryan?
The Lion.
The lion. Okay, so it's already.
I was trying to sing the Lion King song.
It's
but I
already.
couldn't
So
remember
it's
it.
consensus. If it's 2 out of 3, then we'll. So
Powerful animal. out
the
there, man.
lion advances to the final 4 of the dangerous animals bracket.
In the jungle.
Remember,
Yeah, I tried
right?
to sing
It's
it.
got to be completely random. This segment. So this was. You don't get more random than an animal bracket. Okay, I'll just tell you that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
now we got gorilla versus black bear. What's more dangerous? Who wins that matchup? I got a gorilla. I think gorilla wins that matchup.
Maybe a gorilla might try to take on the bear, but the bear will come out victorious.
So you going black bear? Oh,
Ferocious.
so Ryan's the deciding vote here. What are you going with?
Salute to the gorilla.
Salute to the gorilla.
I love
Absolutely.
the gorilla position. I love the gorilla.
Salute to you, Donkey Kong.
Absolutely. So our next matchup is a wolf versus a tiger.
Ooh.
Different
Ooh.
ecosystems. So these animals don't interact that much. But this is a good one. This is like a 8-9 seed right here.
All I gotta say for the wolf, don't turn your back on the wolf pack. But I gotta say a tiger is pretty ferocious. Wolf might wear him down a little bit, but the tiger, is just stronger, faster, and just completely just ferocious. And I think I'm gonna go with tiger.
What are you going with?
In the words of Kanye West, a tiger stronger, faster, better.
I the tiger, man.
I have to disagree with you guys on this one, but you guys vote tiger, so I'm gonna have the tiger advance. But man, Wolverines they're nasty animals, man. They whoop your ass. All right, they will kick your ass. So, tiger advances though in the thing. So now I have a little different though. We got great white shark. We got great white shark.
What?
Versus an electric eel.
What?
Which one wins?
An electric what?
An electric eel.
Electric
you never
eel.
heard of an electric eel before?
I seen it one.
Is it purple?
It's just an electric eel, man. I don't know what.
It's like skinny.
Okay.
It's skinny.
That will be blanked out in the that will be edited out. My
okay.
bad.
You better. What mark is that? 113?
We'll see. 114.30 right there. I can't say the F word. My bad. I can't say the. I can say everything else. I can't say the F word. That's my bad. There's certain words.
or GD.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Okay,
don't
good.
use the Lord's name
But
in vain.
Sue, who wins between a great white shark and an electric eel? I'm gonna go. I still think the shark would win, but I think it'd be a good fight.
I would say that the eel would stun, would stun the shark, and it would swim away. So eel.
What?
You going?
What?
Go. What
Yeah.
are you going with?
Man, Eric's bringing out those random facts,
No, we
man.
got some.
I'm
Um,
going with the animals.
He studied
stats,
up.
dude.
Just go with the great white shark.
Okay, we're gonna go with great white shark. Here we
Yeah.
go.
Jaws, dude. Salute to Jaws.
All right, so now we got our final four of
Good
the
Lord.
dangerous animals bracket. So
Oh
here we
my
go.
Lord.
Okay.
Lion versus gorilla. Man, what a good match. We did a 1-2 seed right here. Here we go.
Mhm.
And it's semis?
Lion versus gorilla.
Oh.
I will start this one. I think this is tough. I'm gonna go with lion. I'm gonna go a little bit opposite right here. I'm gonna go lion wins, even though the gorilla
Yeah.
is huge, got big muscles and stuff like that. I think the lion's more ferocious, more hateful.
Gorilla will run away, so lion will
You
come
gonna
out
go
on
lion?
top. Yeah.
You're gonna go lion.
Gorilla.
Gorilla. Wow.
So you said lion though, Eric?
Yeah,
You're
lion.
going lion?
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, I know.
No, gorillas are strong. It's just lions are.
Ryan's a
Just,
fan of the gorilla, so
Yeah, they're
but
fans.
unfortunately the
They're
lion
fast.
is going to advance to the finals.
Hey, can we...
And tiger doesn't make any sense versus a great white shark. Who wins this matchup?
What?
I'll just say that these teams don't play each other that often.
Yeah,
Let's just
they
say that.
don't.
They just don't play each other that often.
Tiger.
I'm gonna have to go with shark because if it's swimming, the tiger's swimming, then it'll get mauled.
What if the tiger's on land and the shark has to come out of the water though?
Well, tiger, but wait, is this land or is this in water?
That's why is it land? What are we going for? Is it land? Is it in between where the shark is like he's in mid-card limbo in the water and he's like
Wait a minute. You came up with the bracket. You should know
Hey,
where this is held, man.
You guys picked tiger to face this. You could have said electric eel, and the electric eel could just shock the hell out of tiger.
You're
from
picking
the
the bracket. You're doing the whole thing. This should be in a neutral site, just like the March Madness.
It's a neutral site, so it's like in the mid. It's like where people walk in the water, right? Like the shore.
What are you like? This is
I'm
like
going
in
tiger.
Noah's,
There's
like
no
Noah
way-
like
here's
does the
the
Red Sea,
The
and then like all of them face each
The
other.
tiger could live in the water. There's no way the shark, if he got out of the water, would be able to fight.
well, the tiger
So,
can. Yeah,
the
the tiger.
So the tiger would.
I'm sorry, tiger wins, man.
No,
Tiger
the tiger,
wins,
the
man.
tiger, the tiger's swimming, and it's gonna get mauled by the shark. The shark is a great swimmer.
Why are we having this conversation on a freaking
But
wrestling
man,
podcast?
but man, the
This
tiger.
is going 2 minutes too long.
But here's the thing, man. The tiger is not gonna. If the shark comes out of the water, Eric, the tiger is not gonna be able to. The tiger's gonna easily kill him.
Dude,
Just wait for him to die. The thing ain't gonna be.
That's it. I'm changing my Ryan Rand's
No,
topic
okay,
to Nick.
okay,
Nick is
okay.
Nick is the topic of
Hey,
Ryan.
wait,
You
Ryan,
better hurry up, man.
Before we get to
You
Ryan
got
Rand's,
a
all right.
minute.
Before we get to Ryan Rand's, we gotta get to the finals. We gotta get to the finals of the dangerous
Okay,
animal
all right,
bracket,
fine.
and we got a lion versus a tiger. This is a good matchup. They're familiar with each other.
yeah, that's true.
These
Okay,
are famous
good match.
animals.
Good match.
They're named after football teams and baseball teams all over the place. So, who do we got, guys? We got lion versus tiger. Eric, what's your take on
The lion will stand tall.
lion versus tiger? What about you?
Salute to the tiger.
Yeah, okay, here we go. So
My
now
homie Tony
of
the
course-
Tiger.
Of course, I have the final vote in this, like I should, because it is my segment.
They're great.
I don't think Frosted Flakes have anything to do with this, so I'm not going to put that in my.
It's the best cereal,
in my
though.
Take.
Good cereal.
I don't think there's the Detroit Lions have anything to do with this. So I don't think that they're getting to my take. But just thinking about it, I'm going with Lion, man. I gotta go with Lion too. The Lion is Lion's gonna stand tall. So the Lion is the inaugural Nick's completely random segment, dangerous animal bracket champion of the world. We give the Lion.
We will not be doing this the second time, so he's the inaugural and the last.
We'll give the
we
Lion.
will not be doing this
We'll
next
give
year.
the Lion the championship
This
belt
is actually pretty.
at a later time.
This is
at a
pretty
later
entertaining,
date.
dude.
Nick, turn my mic on, man. Let's get to that.
So
Ryan
now
rant.
it's time for Ryan's segment. Ryan rants. Ryan,
right now.
Turn my mic
Ryan
on.
shoots your shot.
Turn my mic on. Yeah, I'm shooting my shot. Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about Jeffrey Nero Hardy. Yes, Brother Nero. Why don't you throw yourself in the lake of reincarnation and just stay there? Okay, because apparently you just can't get out of your own way. I don't understand it. Let me preference. Let me just back it back. So let's talk a little bit about Sunday. Sunday night.
Some bars.
Y'all never heard of hip hop back in 2011? Bring it
beats
back.
in there, man.
Not Travis Scott. It was some artist. I'll put it up later. But look, now you got me messed up. So Jeff Hardy on Sunday night, he goes out in Cameron, North Carolina. I guess he gets turned up. He does something. He's drunk.
Popping.
And, the cops, because it's Cameron, North Carolina, and I'm going to imagine at 10, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, there's not too many people around. So if you're Jeff Hardy, and I'm assuming he's blazing a little bit, he's blasting the car a little bit, he's turning up, he's got his hair, dude, like that. I mean, and he's Jeff Hardy, so I would just assume he's probably the most popular person in Cameron, North Carolina. Cameron, North Carolina. I would just assume he's the most popular. Yeah, because it's Cameron, North Carolina.
Think Coach K would be the number one?
He actually Duke is in Durham, North Carolina, and Cameron. Yeah.
Oh, it's Cameron Indoor Stadium. My
yeah.
bad.
Can you please let me do my
I'm sorry,
my
man.
Ryan rants? Okay, we just got through talking about animals and Tony the Tiger and whatever.
Hey, man.
All right, look. Anyway, Jeff Hardy. What's going? Jeff Hardy. No, it wasn't. But Jeff Hardy, what's going on with you, homie? What's going on? Why in the world can't you seem to get out of your own way? You get caught with all these things. You get caught with the DWI, and just as you're about to return, and as a matter of fact, he might be in the video package this week for the Ultimate Deletion match between Bray Wyatt and Broken, although it should be Broken, Matt Hardy. Delete. You know what? His career's about to be deleted because he has 2 strikes on his WWE wellness policy, with a possible third coming up if this has to do with drugs. So, Jeff Hardy, why can't you get out of your own way? How many times has the WWE, or just wrestling promotions in general, just given you an opportunity, just handed you a magical pot of beans or gold or whatever the heck it is? They've handed it to you. And they've said, hey, Jeff Hardy, we adore you. The fans adore you. Women love you. What do I keep saying, y'all? The 2 things to become over. Women and kids. Jeff Hardy has that. He could have been the John Cena heir apparent. He could have been up there with John Cena. He was getting pops bigger than John Cena at one point. But the man can't stay out of his own way. He can't stop taking pills. He can't stop drinking alcohol. He can't stop doing that stupid stuff. And we keep giving him an opportunity. But you know what? You know what I say? I say time is over. I'd say enough is enough. You know what I propose? Jeff Hardy makes this mistake again. We not only ban him from the WWE, we ban him from wrestling because I can't stand this anymore. There is too many dudes out here. There's too no.
I'm protesting this rant make no sense.
Yeah, you can walk out if you want to. The fact of the matter is this: how many wrestlers out there? It's okay. How many wrestlers are out there who are begging for an opportunity, who are begging for a spot, who are begging for the recognition that Jeff Hardy has, who will never get that opportunity, and Jeff Hardy just goes out there and squanders it and wastes it? You give him everything. You give him everything in the world. He has the look. You give him the character. You give him the merchandise. They screw over his brother Matt Hardy all the time, and this is a fact. This isn't allegedly. This is the truth. They want Jeff Hardy to still be in the main event in 2018, and the man is 40 years old with a busted back. And this man goes out and drinks alcohol and drives. And let me explain something to you, by the way. In 2018, with Uber, Lyft, and all these ride-sharing services, you shouldn't be getting picked up by the police for DUI or DWI. That just makes no common sense for me. That just don't make. How about this? How about you get a 17, 18-year-old dude who's just excited to be driving, and you get them to drive you everywhere, and you just pay them a little bit of money. Or, I got a better idea. This is an idea that people just don't seem to want to don't want to seem to take advantage of. How about you turn up at your own damn house? Like, you pay all that money. You pay all that money for the house, you might as well just buy some alcohol. For me, it'll be a delicious Mike's Hard Lemonade. Salute to Mike's Hard Lemonade. If y'all want to sponsor the Ring Generals, I'm down. Just send me a whole bunch.
I'm down for that too.
Just send me all the Mike's Hards, okay? But yeah, how about you take some of that beer and that alcohol home and you turn up at your own house where your family can be around you, your wife can take care of you, or your brother can take care of you. Why just turn up and then get in a car and drive? It just doesn't make any sense. Point blank, period. I'm almost at the point where I'm done with Jeff Hardy. I'm done with him. I don't want to see him on my television anymore, period. I don't want to see him on my television anymore. In 2018, woke in Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy is more relevant and more important than Jeff Hardy. You heard it first on the Ring Generals from the RKJ Man. That's all I got to say. I'm always talking that talk, y'all. I'm the RKJ Man.
Very good. Very good. Passionate
Damn.
from Ryan
I gotta say, his house is big enough for a house party. That's for sure.
Yeah, just bring a house party, man. Bring all the hot. I'm pretty sure the hot girls in Cameron love to come over there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. I'll go out over there.
I'll do some drugs with Jeff Hardy.
Hey, I allegedly
Smoke some crack or what?
What the hell is Eric talking about? Do you know something that we don't?
No. That's allegedly. You better say allegedly.
Wow.
Gee, I don't know, because that match that he had with Sting back in 2011, that was pretty half-assed, really short. And
Was he on crack?
No, I don't think he was, but he was. I think he was on some pills, I think he was on pills, and maybe he was drinking alcohol. He's mixing stuff, man. I don't know, man. That's a disaster. Jeff Hardy's a disaster, and
What kind of disaster is he?
He's a complete disaster. Yeah, that's the first one of the show, man. I'm limiting him now.
Well, CM Punk had that feud with Jeff Hardy, and he did note to him that he was on something. And yeah, I'm straight edge, but Jeff, what do? You do everything but the kitchen sink,
Hey, Eric, I'm glad you brought up CM Punk, because it's now time for our third triple threat topic of the day.
Man, Eric's on fire today with them segues, man.
Them
segues.
Segueing left and right. Surprised he couldn't segue that animal segment into Ryan Rants, but you know what? Unfortunately,
that's okay. You almost became the topic of Ryan Rants.
Some things are better than others,
And by the way, I almost got into John Bravo, and tomorrow he's supposed to be releasing his stuff, by the way. And
who the hell is John Bravo?
The guy who's supposed to be talking bad about Roman Reigns and the whole steroid thing.
Oh, okay.
So we might have to do a little bit of a John Bravo preview at the end of the show. Just saying.
Possibly.
Okay.
But so we do have a limited time for this segment, though.
Out.
We've been talking for a while about stuff. But so CM Punk is returning to the UFC. He's going back to UFC.
The Octagon.
What UFC, a terrible decision.
UFC 225, I believe.
You want to see you killing on live television?
We already did back when Mickey Gall whooped his ass.
Freaking mauled him, dude.
But so CM Punk, he's going to be fighting at UFC 225. So Eric, well, actually, Ryan, you came up. You actually got this news. Who is he? Their opponent yet or no?
We can look it up right now. But as of right now, I think they're
Jackson. Yeah,
Didn't he lose his first fight too? They're both same record, right?
Yeah. So it would be,
fairly even.
Fair. Yeah, it'd be fair.
But how old is Mike Jackson? Because CM Punk's 40, pretty much.
They don't have. There's no opponent yet. From what I've heard.
There's no opponent yet.
Okay.
But wow, what a freaking...
I'm gonna need CM Punk to get his career going, because I've always dreamed for a CM Punk versus Conor McGregor match.
Yeah, that would be unfair, dude.
You
would need.
what I would I would see. This is what I was going to talk about, Ryan. There's better chance that we'd see CM Punk versus Floyd Mayweather in an MMA
Yeah.
fight. Then we would see McGregor versus CM Punk.
Oh,
So,
is this what you were going to talk about a few weeks ago?
It was. There's the potential that CM Punk could be used as somewhat of a star attraction for Floyd Mayweather to come over, since CM Punk he's clearly doesn't deserve to be in the UFC. No, he could come out and win his next fight, and we could be proven wrong. Maybe he's been training his ass off and he's figured out how to win a fight. But he damn sure didn't look like a real UFC fighter the first time he faced Mickey Gall.
It's just that, if you put him up against Mayweather and McGregor in the UFC, it'd just be unfair. Yeah, it's good marketing, but it's not going to be fair because McGregor would murder him. He would just straight
it's
out
different
murder
with
him.
MMA fighting too, because you could literally kill the guy, whereas like boxing, it's you're
It's
punching
just,
the guy in the face, but you got padded gloves and stuff like that. You're not gonna necessarily die in the ring unless it's a movie. And it's Rocky. But
it's not like it's not like 16 ounce.
If he dies, he dies.
Hey,
50 Cent.
You do know that Dolph Lundgren's gonna be in Creed 2, right? Drago, he's gonna be in Creed 2.
I didn't even know there was a Creed 2.
Oh,
No, yeah.
I don't follow movies that much, so movie stuff.
Do I really want to see Creed 2?
I don't know if I want to see it. I don't even want to see like good movies. I want to pay.
Yeah, you still don't want to see Black Panther.
I
That's how I know.
I don't want to pay like $30 at the movie theater to see a movie when I could just wait 6 months and see it at home on Netflix or something like that.
Netflix on chill?
I just Netflix and sit in my bed. I didn't chill with anybody else. If I want to just watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. I've been watching mob movies lately. It's been great.
Right. No.
The movies are
Sopranos? Not Sopranos.
No, that's a TV show.
Nah, that's a
watched
TV
Casino.
show.
I watched Casino the other day. I'd seen that before. I'd actually never seen any of the
Godfather,
I'd
that's
never
what I
seen
meant.
any
Or
of the
Goodfellas.
Godfather movies.
Or
so
Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's a good mafia movie. Two good mafia.
I've actually
movies.
never seen Goodfellas, or the Godfather movies.
Oh, yeah,
before.
we're going to have a Ring Generals Godfather
They
marathon.
have a whole mob
dude.
movie
Yeah.
podcast.
Dude, you should see the first one. My dad got hooked on
I'm
to
watching
the first one
right now.
Yeah.
So don't let me
Hold on. Let's talk about CM Punk, y'all.
Yeah.
Let's
Sorry,
talk.
CM
Let's
Punk.
get.
But CM Punk,
You
yeah.
want to talk about animals fighting?
Our minds is destroyed.
No, but yeah,
This is
CM.
what midterms do to us.
Yeah, definitely.
Ryan, you're the only one with midterms here.
I
don't have midterms. But luckily, my teachers have bailed me out with no midterms. Eric has one class, so it's not like
my life sucks right now with these midterms. Good
a
Lord.
little bit of insight right
This
there
is
for you.
this is the only time where
Inside
I consider like
Ryan's
not
sucky
wanting
life.
to do school because like midterms and finals are that one moment in every college student's career where they're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's 100% true.
Yeah.
I do that after a math test, a normal math test. I go, I just want to quit everything.
All right,
I
man.
just wanna quit.
You're paying good money for these classes, okay?
You are, yeah. We're paying.
I'm getting
normal
financial
math.
aid, and the only motivation is to keep that financial aid rolling.
You know who's
All
gonna
right,
need,
and I just need a C.
You know who's gonna need financial aid after June 9th? CM Punk.
Yeah.
CM Punk gonna need
'Cause-
financial aid on his life after he gets whooped. He gets his ass whooped again.
Damn.
Yeah.
So you really
June
think
10th, he better be applying for college.
No, but so this card though.
I don't care if he blocks us on Twitter too. By the way,
He can block us on Twitter.
I don't care. It's more publicity for
But
us.
so some interesting notes about this. It is in the United Center, so it's in Chicago. Okay, so it is a
hometown.
hometown bout, which is the smart thing.
So
to do.
he should get a nice pop.
Yeah, and the first fight was in Cleveland, so we didn't even get that home field advantage.
the
necessarily.
same
They
place
still pop
where-
for him, right?
Yeah.
Cleveland?
Absolutely.
They popped.
I think after that podcast and anybody who's like fans of CM Punk, they all popped for him. That's the same venue where he walked out back in 2014.
No, but that's true. It's
Yeah.
instant, yeah, but
All
no, it's
these
not.
things
that was
are-
the Allstate Arena. It was the United
All
Center.
these things are setups. All these things, Dana White's taking a page out of Vince McMahon's book on how to set things up and how to build matches and
Yeah.
storylines. Basically, he's taken what Vince McMahon used to do really great and just elevated it. Like, it made it even better and put it on the mainstream. But
Yeah.
keep going.
Well, the good thing about this card though is it's actually a pretty solid card. CM Punk is not on the main card of this either. He's going to be in the prelim, so which means we'll probably actually be able to watch it on Fox, which would be cool.
Fox Sports.
We'll be able to watch it.
Wait a minute. So he
prelim
goes.
fights
So he
on
goes.
Fox.
So he goes from main card to prelims.
Well, yeah, but do you see what happened to him? There's no way they can put him on the. You put him on the main card, then it looks like Dana White's favoritizing guys. And I think CM Punk, although he's still popular, I think he lost a lot of his popularity because he lost that fight so bad. If Brock Lesnar goes back to UFC
Oh, he's main event.
and starts losing all his fights, he's not going to be as popular.
Okay,
anymore,
well
correct?
then, great, because I don't have to buy a pay-per-view and see CM Punk get
No, you don't.
beat in 20 seconds.
But just to let you know, the rest of this card is pretty good. The one of the main event fights is Alistair Overeem versus Curtis Blades. Curtis Blades, an up-and-coming heavyweight fighter. Alistair Overeem, obviously.
We know him.
A legend in the business, established. You also have Joseph Benavidez versus Sergio Pettis.
Ooh,
it's another
Pettis.
solid fight.
Ooh.
And then you also have the main event, though. This is a big one, too. Yoel Romero versus Robert Whittaker. We're finally getting this fight in the middleweight division. Yoel
That's sexy. I
Romero
like that.
knocked Luke Rockhold the hell out a couple weeks ago.
Knocked
Yoel
the
Romero,
daylights out of him, man.
the Soldier of God. That's his nickname.
Oh,
if you didn't know
I
it.
love
The
it.
Soldier of God.
I love it. Salute to the Soldier of God, man. I'm going to go follow him on Twitter right now.
Hopefully a freak of nature, too, because he is 40 years old, but looks like he's 30 the way he fights. So he's like the Tom Brady of UFC fighting. Old, but still doesn't look it necessarily. But
Yeah, but
so that's
he's not as successful as
So what
Tom
we're
Brady.
saying though is this is going to be a good card. You have attractions on the lower card. You have attractions on the main card. That main event is worthy of buying the pay-per-view if you're a real big UFC fan. I'll probably just stream it off my phone, but. This is going to be a good card, and just looking over at this, obviously we have CM Punk coming back and fighting. I don't know what we'll see from him because we don't know how hard he's been training. But as far as the rest of this fight card goes, man, if you just want to watch a good fight, Robert Whittaker and Yoel Romero, what a damn fight that's going to be. It's finally going to happen because Whittaker's been injured and stuff like that. So
Let's talk a little bit about matching, about their styles. What? Explain to me. And
Well,
people
you know what's funny?
listening who aren't MMA.
I'm very limited on my knowledge of Robert Whittaker because I actually didn't see him win the middleweight title, and he's been injured so often. Yoel Romero, though, he's a genetic freak.
He's an animal.
Okay, you look at Francis Ngannou. It's another guy I've mentioned a while.
Yeah.
Genetic freak. He was unproven, so this is like a proven Francis Ngannou, a guy that he can wrestle on the ground with any of them. But he also can box you, and he can really stand up with you too. So I don't know much about Whittaker, so it's going to be hard for me. I'll have to do some more research. This fight isn't until June, anyways. I believe this is the night before Money in the Bank, too, which I believe is also in Chicago.
Really?
So I'm gonna look this up to make sure.
It is in Chicago.
Well, yeah, but so wait, hold on. No,
man, the games that these people play. Woo!
This fight card is June 9th. So let me look up Money in the Bank real quick and make sure that I'm not wrong.
The only question is that how far away will the venues be away from each other?
Well, it's within 10 miles of each other.
Yeah, it's walking distance.
But let me check out.
Well,
this.
Punk, if I were you, man, I'd book the hell out of there so you wouldn't have to look at.
What about CM Punk just decides to just randomly he does the thing and then he goes over the next night and he shows up at WWE? I don't think that's gonna happen. See, this is the thing, man. CM Punk is a draw, y'all, because he can get us talking.
Look, the thing.
Okay. So my apologies. It's the Money in the Bank actually was changed to the next week. So
they did that on purpose.
Yeah, I think they probably did too. Yeah, the Money in the Bank is June 17th. So. Hey, look, maybe a little some gamesmanship from the UFC making WWE move back a pay-per-view, too. CM Punk going to be in Chicago the week before. We're obviously going to be watching that fight 100%. I'm watching this. If I have to stream it, if I have to legally stream it, if I have to buy the freaking pay-per-view, I'm watching CM Punk.
Don't say illegally because they're definitely going to come out.
It doesn't matter. Nobody's ever going to find out. I got my websites. Hit me up on Twitter. I'll give you the website.
No, slide in those DMs.
Slide in my DM. You want the website? I'll give you some teasers for this website, man. Okay. You can watch UFC. You can watch a WWE pay-per-view if you want off WWE Network. And most importantly for us LA people, you can actually stream the Dodgers, who we don't get to see here. You can stream Dodger games every single night.
I just want to let you know. That's probably getting shut down by the government rules.
Oh, no,
it happened one time with me. Like they literally went to the government, and the government said the government has seized this website. I was like, oh, my mom was like, you better get off that website right now.
Get all that stuff up. Yeah. I have enough crap on my phone that I've looked at in the past. That is the least of thing that's going to.
What kind of stuff were you looking at, huh?
Let's not talk about it.
Let's just say we mentioned it earlier.
on one of our previous podcasts.
Earlier in the show.
Kind of makes me question, Nick, what you've been watching, man. What do you watch in your spare time?
The same stuff you've been watching. Let's not try to act like we ain't all sit here.
What? I don't watch it.
I don't watch it.
No, you watch that exotic stuff,
let's
man.
Not all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
But
It's
let-
almost time to end this
let's
thing,
not
man.
all
It
act
hurts.
like
We were talking about Sunny earlier, so yeah.
let's not all act like in the 4 hours until Eric has a class that he ain't doing a little something in the middle of that time while he's by himself at his house. Okay,
I'm
just saying.
definitely eating,
Ryan
eating
goes,
a burrito, and
there has to eventually be a break in your studying for your midterms.
No, it's
Where a
not.
little something happens.
I'm sleeping.
I'm just saying.
I'm sleeping.
I find any possible way every. No, I'm just. Kidding.
I'm sleeping.
I'm not gonna get
Wait,
into that.
so
but-
so you seen him do?
What are you saying? What are you saying?
Nothing.
Nothing. I don't think we're talking about nothing. We ain't talking
Whoa,
about
whoa,
nothing.
whoa, whoa! This is not that type of podcast,
We
y'all.
ain't talking
This
about.
is-
We ain't talking about nothing.
We talking about
We're
wrestling.
talking about.
We're talking about MMA,
And
boxing.
So let's transition to boxing. Obviously, great UFC card. CM Punk
Yes.
coming back, but
Canelo.
Eric, give us the lowdown on Canelo Alvarez. This guy failed the drug test.
Yeah, he failed the drug test because he ate a certain meat product up in Mexico.
Lame.
Yeah.
Up in Mexico.
Yes, up in Mexico.
Up in Mexico. Well, where are we living right now? Panama.
Panama?
It's got to be down in Mexico, man.
Yeah, down in Mexico.
It's pet peeve of mine when people say like, "Hey, I'm
That's
going
okay.
up to San Diego,"
Mm-hmm.
which we live in Orange. We're doing this in Orange County. I get mad.
Don't
Don't say that.
feel bad, Eric. I used to do that all the time when I lived in North Carolina. I'd be like, yeah, over there, and then over there.
I think
My
people
dad's
do
like,
that.
Next,
Yeah,
I
right
think
here.
up in South Carolina.
I think people do that. I think people do that nonetheless, all right?
But go on.
to get a point straight across, okay? Okay, so
Right now, man.
yeah, so he ate a piece of meat up in Mexico, and also he.
Not gonna work,
Wait,
Ryan.
what?
Ryan's
So-
trying to fix the studio. It ain't gonna
Yeah,
work.
you gotta staple it, man. So what happened to be is that this product was supposed to be like some sort of substance in order for you to cut weight, and in order to meet the weight with Triple G, Canelo ate it, and he said that he didn't know about it. He didn't know that it contained steroids in there because in Mexico, here's the truth: they do inject, just like here in the U.S.,
Yeah.
you know, with GMOs and all. They do inject steroids onto animals. They do that. That's what they do in Mexico. So for Canelo to, you know, not know what is in the meat, I don't know. It kind of makes me sound a little bit fishy right there because, wait a minute, Canelo, you should know by now that animals like cows and chickens, they all get injected with steroids, you know? So that's the thing. It kind of makes me hard for me to believe that Canelo says that, oh, yeah, I didn't know anything about this.
Oh,
Come
so
on.
you're skeptical on that he didn't just take it and he didn't know there was gonna be consequences. Like, so you're not putting him completely like safe in this whole scenario. You think there was something up?
I think there was something up because, look, man, he should have been smarter about this whole thing because you got a fight coming up. You got a fight coming up
I agree with that.
in May, Cinco de Mayo, and you're going to be having a rematch with Triple G, probably possibly one of the greatest boxers out there right now, currently. So I feel like he was a little bit. I don't think he was a little bit unsure about himself that he would probably win this fight. So in order to cut weight, he had to take that. He ate that piece of meat to take on Triple G, but I feel like him and his guys, they should have known, you know, what would have happened. And as much as I love Canelo, as much as I love him as a boxer and all, but you know, these sort of things, it makes me fishy. I feel like there's something up, and it sucks because I don't know if this fight. I know that there's gonna be a lot of money being put onto this event, but I feel like for Canelo, I feel like it might get delayed or it might be moved to some different day.
That would suck.
First of all, this sounds like BS. I mean, you're eating meat in Mexico, and you're not thinking that's not going to do anything. Like, they put steroids in it, just
They
like the
do.
United States
Well,
does.
okay, yeah.
So,
but
like,
to
come
think you
on.
just
And
can't eat
it's
meat,
supposed
though.
to cut your weight down. Now, that's just the
That's a good
definition
point,
of
yeah.
sketchy. Like, come on, man. We ain't stupid. Like, we know you did something wrong. Hey, just sweep it under the rug. I know this fight's got to happen to make money. Sweep it under the rug, and let's do this thing, okay? Let's do this fight, y'all.
Well, I think one thing to look about this too is this has happened in the past to Mexican fighters, correct? This is so. I don't necessarily want to just throw blame at him. This might have been an honest mistake, but I think Eric's right in the fact that let's not be eating stuff or doing anything that might possibly get this fight delayed or might possibly get this fight canceled or get titles taken away. You know, we look at a perfect example of this in John Jones. We talked about him. I believe he was on the last podcast. How he's suspended now from fighting ever again in California, unless they retract that. But they're not. They're probably not. And so for Canelo, a big time fighter, one of the top fighters in his sport, to go out and be that stupid, I agree with you. He does need to be looking, because is Triple G going out eating tainted meats? No. Is Triple G going out and taking substances that are sketchy? No. And Canelo, I think, was a little dumb in this situation. I don't necessarily think he did it on purpose to try to cheat. I don't think he'd do that. Plus, I think it was a voluntary test that he took anyways, which made it even dumber that he failed it, too. I mean, it'd be like me going right now and saying, hey, look, I'm going to go take a drug test, and then all of a sudden they find, whatever in my system, right? Even though, obviously, I'd be taking the test knowing that I'm going to pass, and then all of a sudden stuff's found in my system. It sounds really dumb.
Yeah, and for people to say that, oh, yeah, I ate tainted meat every day. Well, here's the thing. You ain't fighting. You ain't fighting Triple G. And,
of course,
in the event.
You also don't have as much money as Canelo probably does either.
Yeah.
So you can eat safer foods. You can actually look and go out to see what foods you need to eat that are going to be safe, so you don't do the one thing that you can't do. It is get this fight canceled or get this fight moved.
Right.
Cinco de Mayo, you got the hometown advantage here. It's in Vegas. There's going to be a lot of Latinos. A lot of
it's
Hispanic.
confirmed in Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, and actually, I don't know that. I don't know that 100%, but you're still going to have a giant Latino crew coming, and a lot of Mexicans coming to that fight too. So you can't screw up the Cinco de Mayo thing, because then you're taking away a huge advantage for you in that fight, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, definitely, man. It's just, it kind of does bother me when they say that, it's just a piece of meat, so no worries. People eat it all the time. They do that all the time.
But Mexicans know that you can't just be eating everything all the time.
Yeah.
Especially since there's been stuff in the past that said that fighters have had the same drug in their system, and it's all due to the meat.
And, dude, I have come across, bad meat before. It's just that, look, man, I ain't scheduled to fight Triple G,
Exactly.
I ain't scheduled to fight anybody. I'm not gonna get drug tested or anything like that, by the fighting commission. I'm not going to Las Vegas and.
Well, plus, even if you got drug tested at work, that's not going to be one of the things they're going to be. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's you have this thing in meat. This is a pure fighter. Drug that they banned because it helps fighters. It's not a normal thing that you get drug tested on. So.
But if it's affecting you, if it's killing you inside, okay, get that checked out,
No, absolutely. Ryan, I'll let you get the last take on this, because we do need to end the podcast.
I just said it. It's just BS. If you know this fight is coming up, so if you knew this fight was going to be happening months ago, then you should have been getting close to that weight. You should have been getting close to that weight in the first place. So for him not to be at that weight right now, for me, completely is unacceptable. Now, do I think this fight is going to get changed? No. Do I think anything's going to happen besides a really big fine? Yeah, pretty much. Nothing bad's going to happen, really, necessarily.
Maybe afterwards.
Afterwards. Come on, anything that can make money, you'll find a way to sweep under the rug. We've seen this with the WWE. We've seen this in UFC sometimes.
Absolutely.
And we've seen this plenty in boxing. I'm sorry. Boxing started it, pretty much. So, if something can get swept under the rug until after the events happen, we'll find a way to sweep it under the rug. And at the end of the day, cash rules everything around me. Cream gets the money. Dollar bills, y'all.
Oh, yes.
So, come on. So, come on. We're going to see the match May 5th, but Canelo Alvarez, come on, bro.
Very good. Very good
You're
way
an
to
idiot.
end it. Very good
Stupid idiot.
Very good way to end it. So what did we learn from this podcast, guys? We learned that the Lion is the champion.
What?
Correct. We learned that Ryan really does not want Jeff Hardy to be a wrestler anymore from this podcast.
I think he's getting given too many opportunities to screw it up always.
We learned that we are skeptical on whether the American Badass Undertaker is coming back, and we are excited about SmackDown's booking. Let's just say that. So, salute to the Ring Generals.
Hey man,
guys.
hey, real quickly, follow us. Follow us on
good point,
SoundCloud. Okay, we got. If you can't,
Ring Generals
on YouTube.
at the Ring Generals, and if you can't, we're gonna post the link up on our YouTube. Okay, if you can't find a way to go listen to the whole podcast, that's all right. We're going to put clips up there for
Absolutely,
y'all,
man.
for y'all to listen. You got on demand from previous podcasts. We got funny assortments of clips. We got all this stuff. You know, y'all give us a listen, okay? All right. What's your social media, Nick?
My social media is at Nick Nenad, just all lowercase.
Eric?
At Santo and 2 double O's at the very end.
Find me on Instagram at RKJ Man 21 or the RKJ Man. I don't know.
To get this right, man. They
Or
gotta be on type
Twitter at RKJ Man, all uppercase. I changed my profile picture for the first time in a long time, y'all.
Oh. What is
It's
the profile picture?
from Raw?
Are you in the title?
No, it's not with me to tell because I think that looks weird. But yeah.
Slipping on the DM,
Yes,
like-
slide it in your DM. Like I'm gonna put that up one day, but it's gonna be in because y'all not gonna know. All right, man. Hey, as always, raise a glass in the sky and salute the Ring Generals.